Welcome back, everyone, to the Chain Pact Dynasty. This is episode number 14, the grand finale of this role-playing focused King of the Castle campaign. We've been playing this for about 4 months, and this is our recurring dynasty. We play this every week on Wednesdays at around 9:30 p.m. Central European time. And it's a long dynasty that focuses on role-playing and lore building. If you take a look at our Discord server, !Discord in chat, you're gonna see that it's super active. And there's a wonderful community writing pages upon pages upon pages of lore and role-playing. So that's a good place to be if you like that kind of stuff. And I'm glad you found us. I'm glad you found us on this very eventful night where we're gonna be deciding the fate, the destiny of the Chain Pact Kingdom. This is our map. This is our stats. This has been a very florid kingdom, very florid dynasty so far. We've had some very long-standing lineages of rulers, and as usual, for those of you who are here for the first time, or for those of you who just couldn't be here last time, or for those of you who just don't really have a good memory like me, I have a wonderful, incredible summary for you written by our amazing Dawish Lurks. And let me read that to you, shall we? To let you know what happened last time. So previously, in the Chain Pact Dynasty, in the reign of Baron Monarch Rudolf IV the Unready, who ruled from 1155 to 1157. When she wasn't fighting in Ashmead by order of the council, Queen Rudolf III the Brave was reliving her bloody memories. Queen Consort Yvette overcame her own gloom to care for her loved ones. Rudolf IV, while awed by their mother's selflessness, distrusted the nobles' council which had led Rudolf III into a senseless war. Searching their own heart for how to best serve the kingdom, they had a revelation. To forever end conflicts such as the one between Ninethists and Caldevagans, all faiths had to be weaved into one. They resolved to reform the Ninthist Church from within into the universal creed they dreamed of. The season of claws saw the Ulthrander attacked the north. The monarch had Ninthist churches protect the locals, who gratefully began swearing by the old gods and the new. The Archbishop proposed building a monument to a local religious figure. Monarch and council agreed, thinking it would depict a hero of northern faith. Instead, it showed Saint Brunhilde, an unknown Ninthist martyr. Many commoners were glad to feel part of the kingdom's main culture at last, but non-Ninthist nobles grew leery of the monarch, whom they wrongly believed supported the Archbishop's trickery. Rudolf procured texts from archaeologists based in Chur, set to question the very history of the world as taught by Ninethism. Fully publishing such world-shattering findings was out of the question, but perhaps releasing some excerpts could humble the church and unify the realm. The curious monarch read a few paragraphs. Then they burned it all. They granted the Inquisition that some ideas should never see the light of day, no matter the stakes. Ninethism kept spreading across the north, to the point that a new bishop was named to represent it. Yes, we have a Ninthist north. And that the Lake of Dawn, holy to Chalith, was reconsecrated to the Ninth. For the old god's partisans, this was the last straw. The so-called saint had to die. Seeing the crown as weaker than the church, moved other chainbreakers to act. Having bribed servants, Lord Patrician Octavius Ajax planned to corrupt the advisors, and finally buy the crown itself. Meanwhile, General Baron Felix Ace, bitter over his step-nibbling ending the war, hoarded gunpowder for a coup. Swayed by all the schemers, the council dismissed Rudolf's worries about Felix and spendings. This let the pagan plotters bribe the underpaid watch, although they waited for the right time to strike. Rudolf only avoided bankruptcy by selling off a gift from their wife, Lady Patrician Herona, sulky daughter of the infamous pirate Creek Atwater. It took months for Rudolf to learn Herona had been leading bandits against the marsh due to an ancient vendetta. When they had her publicly apologize, the commoners scorned her, but also the monarch, whom they judged late to act. Some of the advisors joined Octavius. They had barely begun recovering their authority by crushing one chief's premature rebellion that Herona gave an ultimatum. Rudolf would join in her interregional fight, or she would divorce. The ruler refused, and facing public condemnation, barely saved face by rejecting Lord Atwater II's demand for compensation. And this was super serious, because in the Chain Pact, marriage is sacred. Felix pounced then, claiming that this reign's chaos showed that the Chain Pact's monarch and council as corrupt and inapt to rule, that the army needed to restore order. The Gunpowder War was swift and bloody. Even united, the loyalist nobles were powerless against the rebels' arsenal of Curthian weapons. Yet, the capital's commoners fought to the bitter end for the pact. Rudolf IV, the Unready, could only offer them the assurance that the general would be worse than themselves had been. Before sunset, the monarch's head, along with all their militias, stood on spikes outside the palace gates. The kingdom has slipped through their hands, and their dream of harmony ended in the war they sought to avoid. For the third time, the Chain Pact lay broken. And that is what happened last time on the Chain Pact Dynasty. Please give a big round of applause for that which lurks, for providing, as always, this fantastic freaking summary. Thank you so much, Lurks, as always. I really appreciate it. You know my personal and private thoughts about this. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Lurks is awesome. Lurks is awesome. Alrighty. Dear Lord, this much lore. Vapus, this is nothing compared to what you'll find on the Discord. This is nothing. But don't worry, because if you're joining us for the first time, you're joining in just at the perfect time. Because this, as I said, is the last episode of this dynasty. And then, next week, we're going to be doing a wrap-up stream where we discuss this. And after that, we'll be revealing a new dynasty, a new theme for a new dynasty. And we're going to be starting that. So new people are going to be able to jump in right from the get-go, right from the start. And it's much, much easier to jump in at the start. So you slowly ease into the lore. So yeah, don't feel intimidated. And also, this is absolutely optional, right? Like you don't have to roleplay if you don't want to. You can engage with this as however you want. You can just play to win or whatever. I encourage you to roleplay because I think it's more fun. I do roleplay my monarchs. I write character traits specifically for each monarch, different every time, and I roleplay according to those. And I encourage you to do the same, but you don't have to. So, and feel free to engage however you want and to slowly ease into the lore. This is the culmination of our hubris. It is. Yeah, this is kind of a tutorial. All right. Not role-playing a role-playing game. I mean, people are free to do whatever they want. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. All right. That said, let us get started with the coronation, as always. Then I'm planning on just making as much fun as possible. A lot of people do that. You got a long way to do that. Like, we had over 30k here for the richest one, so... But for the next one, you might be the richest noble. Who knows? RP is cool, but the lore in Discord, it's a lot, I know. Again, even that, like, you don't have to read everything. You don't have to read everything. Like, with this dynasty, we officially reached critical mass. Before this, it was at a level where it was feasible to read everything. But by episode 3 or 4 of this dynasty, we reached critical mass and it was not possible anymore to read everything. So, it's alright if you don't read everything. I don't have time to read everything anymore, because it's just too much, so... I feel you. Bomb Viewer. I try to read as much as I can, even snippets here and there, but I cannot read everything because it's too much. Bomb Viewer, you are... Wait, aren't you... Yeah, there you are. Aren't you Baron? I remember. You look cool! You look cool, y'all. Episode 1. I think episode 3 or 4. I went to read the history, and when I saw how much it was, I became thankful for the too long to reads. Right? Yes. Yes. Yeah, we have a summary thread just for that. Alright, let's get started. Your Majesty, you may have won the throne from Monarch Rudolf IV, but you must still answer to the Council. As is tradition, they will decide what happens at your coronation. Yeah, let's get this over with. Shall we call the nobles in? Absolutely. Lemon Square, I can take a look at your character, for sure. Here you are. Oh, look at this old gentleman! I love the new portrait. She's the only one who actually be a noble. Past Creek lower density right before episode 4. Yeah, there you go. There you go. So... we don't do a parade. We don't do a parade. We definitely do not do a parade here. Because the treasury is very low and we don't need to spend money. You're very welcome, Lemon Square. So, I encourage you to vote now, my dear nobles of the council. First vote of the night. Please go ahead and let me know what we should do at the coronation. Manager Maid, hello and welcome. Thank you for joining. And thank you for voting, too. Okay, I would encourage you all to do a quick refresh, because it looks like you have like 20 or 30 seconds of lag. So, I'm gonna wait. Like, when you hear this refresh, I'm gonna be waiting another, like, 30 seconds just to make sure that you all can refresh, and then I'm gonna move past the vote. So, yeah. There's a strong delay. Yeah, the servers seem to be lagging, but there is also a delay in chat. Probably for the lag that we had earlier, so... everybody refresh now. Everybody refresh now. Okay, 10 more seconds and then I'm gonna continue. But yeah, definitely strongly encourage you to refresh, because everybody had 20-30 seconds of delay here, so... refresh. Alright, this is super close, by the way. It's 12 to 12. I'm gonna be counting down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1... and 0. Oh my god, look at that! 2 votes came in at the very last time and he tied nonetheless. Alright, so... 10 seconds in the future. Oh god. Samp, hello and welcome. Thank you for following. How you doing? So I would say 23 seconds behind that is insane. I hope we're good now. Like, let's do a test. When I say... I'm gonna say you a word, and I need you to type it as soon as I say it, alright? And then we're gonna see how much the lag is. So the word is... Oh, hi, Sam. Thank you for joining. So the word is... tyrant. Go. The word is tyrant. The word is tyrant. Alright, we have 6 seconds. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, there you go. Fantastic. Yeah, we're much better. We're doing much better. Are you calling me a tyrant? What the fuck? Are you calling me a tyrant? What are you doing? Alright, we're good. Of course not. Alright, let's go. Felix wants a coronation. Felix wants a coronation. For sure. Felix wants a coronation. It is decided the king will be thrown in the river. I step into everyone spamming tyrant in the chat. What happened? I asked them to do it, Swede. Welcome. It is decided the king will be thrown in the river. And so it begins. The nobles pick you up and carry you out to the Treadwater River, hurtling you into the shallow water with a cheer. When you climb back up the bank, soaking wet, the Chancellor steps forward and places the crown upon your head. Easy to your imagination, or are some of the nobles' stifling giggles? So, and Felix was in a good position to just say, nope, there's not going to be a coronation. But I think that Felix, as much as he's revolutionary, in the sense that he's shattered the Chain Pact, I think that he still wants to feel legitimized by ruling in the... Like, he wants some continuity with Alma the Wise. Yeah, we're just starting, yeah. Alright, so let's do council introduction here. No anthem tonight. Cobra Commander, we bloody well pulled it off, didn't we? The Barons are finally in charge and we can sort this kingdom out. Now just remember a little argument. We put you on that damn throne, so you do as we tell you. Got it? I'm actually king now, so you cannot push me around. Like, you know, like, glory to the march, yes, for sure. Actually, he's a... Like, it's a mix of these two, actually, because, like, he wants to... No, he actually isn't on... Like, this is general to general, yeah. Hydraulic in game. Vapors, we have redeemable channel points thing that you can redeem to do that, because otherwise it was... At some point it got to people just asking constantly and we never got to play. So, yeah. Yeah, it's glory to the marsh, definitely. Huzzah! Now introduce yourself to the rest of the council, but don't forget what I told you today. Yeah, this makes sense. So patricians, we have Darth Von Doom. Hello, sir. A pleasure, Your August Majesty. I hope to see our kingdom prosper and grow wealthy under your reign. Prospero? How's Prospero feeling about this king, huh? I'll pay for Vap's character. Oh, that's so wholesome, Kenneth. Thank you. That's so wholesome. There you go. You're bold and unhappy and emaciated. But you have a cool spider as your badge. I actually really like the mask. I think that mask we don't see too often, and I really like it. MrKaji goes, alright, I'll take a few minutes and make traits. No, I have traits. I have traits already. Okay, thank you, Prospero. That was very kind of you, Kana, thank you. Good luck in the days ahead, Your Majesty. You'll need it with dealing with us a lot. DL Dragon, hello. Hi. I think you'll need luck dealing with me. But yeah. The council hall immediately fills with raised voices. Meanwhile, what do you think? Will he be a good little king and do as he's told? Too early to tell. We should have a backup plan just in case. Yeah, you're very bold. I played bass for bold and happy and emaciated. Alright, the path to victory. Oh, we got a bug. We got a bug. Crashed it. Let's go. Squashed it. Laying down hurts. Stand up! Sorry. I'm so sorry, Astro. Your Majesty, the history books do not look kindly upon usurpers, unless of course they prove themselves worthy of the throne they have stolen. When you die, how do you hope the kingdom will remember you? Well, this is the time where we have a vote in the Chain Pact Dynasty, right? This is the moment where we have a vote. Not this time, though. Not this time. Dead inside. Oh my god. Oh, I see. Thank you for clarifying. What is the bug and how do you spot it? I'm gonna show when we're back to the map. A little sock dancing on Maurice's hand. It is definitely 100% as a conqueror. A warrior king is sure to be remembered fondly if he wins more battles than he loses. We already won 2, so yeah. I suggest over the next few years we focus on improving the kingdom's overall military. Of course. Of course. So the bug is when you try to move the map and it doesn't move. right? Like if I click on the map and then try to move it and it doesn't move, then there's a bug. And at that point, if you click on the eastern sea, this is the only part of the map that allows you to move the map when the bug is up, and you'll see that that writing comes up here. And if you manage to click on the red button from this side, from below and not from up, it will disappear. I don't think he needs to use that army against Ashmead. I don't know. It depends on how you behave. It depends on how you behave. I think I have to go. Take care, Zerdu. Don't worry. Let's end the season and see what y'all are doing here. Lavinia of the Vitamin Chi bloodline, infamous marcher orator, stands before blazing hearth, shouting and swearing. What a coup! Felix now sits the throne and the barons are in charge, but the other regents will already be scheming to depose him. Do we stay loyal to the new king or cut our losses and put me on the throne instead? Wait, are we still lagging here? Are we still having lag issues? Because if we are having lag issues, this might be... It might actually be the router, and in that case, I might have to end the stream and restart it. So if everybody's lagging, that might be the case. So if everybody's lagging, please do let me know. Keeps freezing it keeps freezing up every now and then. Then it might be the router here. Ah, this sucks. It's good for you now. Yes, a bit. First up about 7 seconds ago. Yeah, I might have to do a quick router reboot and just have like a 3-minute stream interruption before, and then start again. Lag is real. Who should win to restore the pact? I am lagging. I'm good. So we have huge lag issues. Kind of lagging. Yeah. Do we want to do this? It's gonna take 3 minutes. Nothing more than that. But yeah, it might be the router. If we want to do this, I think it makes sense to do it now, since we're just starting, instead of in the middle of the action. If you want, we can do it now. Think we can fight through the schemes first? Yeah, let's do the schemes first. Alright, let's do that. Let's do the schemes first, and then we're gonna do a 3-minute break. I'm gonna use the restroom, and I'm gonna take the time to stop the stream and restart the router. Let's do that. Yeah. So let's do the schemes, and then we take a 3-minute break. I use the restroom, I stop the stream, restart the router, and then I'm back with hopefully better internet. Alright. So let's soldier through the schemes. Do we stay loyal to the new king or cut our losses and put me on the throne instead? And barons, remember, what do you want to do? Do you want to support King Felix? Do you want to try to usurp the usurper and put back on the throne someone from the Chain Pact? Just choose what you want to do. So your options are loyalists, aid the king, doppelganger, trying to find a doppelganger, trying to get the lowest defiance, or trying to modernize the army further, trying to lower other people's military. Can hear before I see you talk? Yeah, we're gonna reset the router right after the schemes. Let's do this. Vote, barons, vote! Okay, so we have... Oh my god, this was actually close. Loyalists, 5-3. It was 4-3 at a certain point. What does Felix want to do? Conquering, right? As a conqueror. Alright, it's 6-3-3. It looks decided, but I'm gonna count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Alright. Votes are in. We're not gonna wait for the schemes. This is too much lag, so we're gonna be doing it now. Alright? Alright. We take the 3-minute break now. Too much lag. That settles it then. Glory to the king and glory to the marsh. But we can always change our minds. If Felix ever gets out of line, we can take up our arms and get rid of him the old-fashioned way. The Baron's goal is to aid the king by countering the other region's schemes as much as they can. They will win the game if the king produces an heir and completes his ambition. However, if defiance gets too high, they can still change their minds and rise up in rebellion. But my question is, do I just leave the game up? Alright, let's do this. Finn of the Samp clan, charismatic northern hero, stands precariously in a longhouse crossbeam, spitting as they speak. This is kind of a doppelganger too, if you look at him. Let's do it. Chiefs of the North, we all know I should be on the throne, not this imposter king Felix. How do we make that happen? Chiefs of the North, it is up to you to decide what you want to do. Do you want to pursue sorcery, trying to ask for the help of a wizard and raising authority? Do you want to use subterfuge, trying to lower stability? Or do you want to follow a prophecy, trying to raise authority? What is it you want to do? What does he want to do? Trying to avoid bad feelings. That's right. There's no toot. There is no toot indeed. So it's subterfuge. The chiefs really want to see this guy out. I see. I see. He's our best chance? Apparently so. Let's go. Tootless bad ending. Alright, I'm gonna count down from 5 just to make sure. 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Let's go. The chiefs plan to replace the king's closest advisors with their own agents. First, they must prove the current advisors are doing a bad job. To advance their scheme, the chiefs must lower stability to 4 or less in 3 seasons. I actually love this. I love this because, if you think about it, the king said dethroned the previous monarch and removed all their council with people from the march, right? With Baron council people, like, not council, but rather advisors, sorry. With people from the march. So it would make sense that the chiefs would be like, you know what? We're gonna put our advisors there instead. Fight fire with fire. Marcus of the Legacy family, charismatic coastal elder, scribbles with a well-used quill and hardwood desks, explaining in measured prose. Fellow patricians of the coast, my claim to the throne is far more legitimate than that of King Felix. Something must be done. We'll see. Legacy family, indeed. Patricians of the coast, what do you want to do? Do you want to try to achieve a monopoly trying to raise your own trade? Do you want to start a conspiracy trying to lower the treasury? Or do you want to spread corruption trying to lower authority? And the immediate vote from sparse corruption comes in. That's exactly what we needed. Welcome back, sparse corruption. Ah, that sucks, Astral. I'm so sorry to hear that. Please, please, please. Get that checked if it keeps hurting. I hope it gets, you know, like, just do something about it. I hope you get back well soon. Fingers crossed, Astral. I'm so sorry to hear that. One of my brother's sons? Worthwhile, I see. Corruption for sparse corruption, of course. 8-4, it looks like it's gonna be a monopoly. So let's go, counting down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I will definitely check it out. Yeah, definitely do, please. And let us know how you're doing. Rest well, Astral. Have a good night. Monopoly it is. The patricians plan to privatize the entire damn kingdom. First, they must build up their industry. To advance their scheme, they must raise their trade to 5 or more in 4 seasons. Corruption is very sparse indeed. Serious, thank you so much for the 10 biddies. What happens? We're playing. We are playing. So, we have a bastard offshoot, a false pretender, and a treacherous half-brother? Oh my god! The scheming is real. The scheming is freaking real. It's 6 minutes in. Oh, I had to reset my router because we were having connectivity issues. It'll be a riot if this is the time the Pats get their first victory. Right, the patricians have never overthrown the kingdom. You're right, the crown. Felix and the king. It could be someone from before. It doesn't have a direct bastard. So, we definitely need to stop the count here. Definitely. So, what do we have here? A mysterious ship, a call for apprentices, and the honor card. Felix and Emperor Frederick? No. I actually did not say anything that related Felix and the Emperor. I was just being fun. Where an heir popped up after the father had been deposed. Yes, that is a thing that can happen. It's very rare, but it can happen. Yeah, which of these claimants is pro-pact restoration? Right? Which one? I mean, you can pick which one. So, let's pick the honor guard first. My liege, I have a brilliant idea. Hey Lurks, hi. Why don't you hold a battle royale to choose your honor guard? If you let us host it in the march, I'll even pay for it. The spectacle will boost our economy massively, and of course I'm confident the March of Veterans will win. Your Majesty, this is pointless. Why don't you just choose your honor guard and have done with it? Well, I think we'll choose our honor guard as normal here. Will be a grand spectacle? No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. This is a military coup. This is a military coup. No need to even ask, Marshal. The king knows that our veterans are the only ones with experience of real warfare. Right, Thrifty? And I agree. Felix is cringe and boring. For now, yeah. Veterans of the March indeed. I will make the arrangements at once. Felix is a general. He was at war. And he only trusts his fellow soldiers. The veterans arrive a few weeks later. They march into the throne room in perfect formation before lining up behind your throne, hands on their sword hilts. Each soldier sports a bigger scar than the last. These are the war veteran, the Ashmead War veteran that fought with Felix. This is kind of like Caesar. You know, with his legions who fought in Gaul. So let's see if we get rich. Yeah, exactly. That's his old squad, precisely. Bad news, my liege. A meddling wizard has set up shop in Eberbal. I believe it is Gordias, the Stone Talker. Why is this a problem? He's put out a call for new apprentices, which is a rare event. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for many. Droves of unwashed, glory-seeking common folk from all over the march are lining up for their chance. Not just peasants, I, Reaper II, have also decided to apply. The competition will be fierce, but those workers are no match. I will be the most powerful noble this council has ever seen. So do we want to make a pirate a wizard? This character here is a pirate. A pirate? Do you want a pirate wizard? I don't think so. You could put your clothes on if it wasn't for your servant's help. We can't let this go ahead. Not only is it heresy, it presents a clear and dangerous conflict of interest. Let's assemble the council. These honor guard might kill him. It might. It just might. Cheers, your highness. I want to do it out of character just because of the walking skeleton scene. In part of the Caribbeans. I think we forbid it, right? think we forbid it. I think we forbid it. Do we need it? Yes, I don't think so. I think we completely forbid it. Like, it would be... Do you imagine... Can you imagine how dangerous it would be to give... the okay... to make a pirate a wizard? 13 to 12. 13 to 13. How is this close? How is it this close? What the fuck? What the fuck? 15 to 13. No way. 17 to 13. Yeah, exactly. Especially Reaper, of all people. 18 to 14. I'm gonna be counting down from 5 here, so you gotta vote. If you have not voted, this is the time. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I should not be trusted with this. There you go. Go ahead and be a wizard. I hope you die. Yeah. Have to... Yeah, right? Yeah. You are at war with the kingdom. Yeah. We just hope you die, probably. By my honor, how will we keep up with his noble duties if he's spending all his time in the march with this wizard? And what if, ninth preserve us, he actually passes his apprenticeship? There's never been a wizard on the council before. We'll just have to cross that bridge when we come to it. You've nothing to fear from me, your esteemed highness. I'll always have the kingdom's interests at heart, even as a wizard. Yeah, sure. Lelkatlan, how you doing? Welcome back. Yes, you can become a wizard. Lord Patrician Reaper II sets off immediately on his journey to the march. Gorgeous' presence in Evervale attracts all sorts of visitors, though the power of his latent magic starts to wield crops for miles around. And we have a mysterious ship then. Nope, nope. Not everybody dies. You can become a wizard. Your Majesty, a shipwreck has appeared on the edge of my estate. And it's not even from the north. Its name is the Gloria, and it bears a marcher flag. Okay. That vessel went missing a few months back. We feared she was lost at sea. Well, she's been found on land, right on top of my favorite picnic spot. My common folk discovered only one survivor on board, a marcher sailor who claims to remember nothing of what happened. This is so typical Noble, complaining about picnic spots. Northwind. If I die and end up a skeleton, my plans for a blaze of glory are still happening, even if I'm lighter than before. Right, Chara became a wizard, yes. My head's killing me. Has been ever since I woke up. So what happened to you? I swear I didn't do anything. Last I remember we were sailing along Marcher waters. Then nothing. This poor soul needs looking after. We must care for him in one of our monasteries. No, we must interrogate him further. I must know why this ship is on my land. That's a good point. Yeah, the sailors look cool. The sailors look cool. So, pay a scholar? No, we're not gonna pay shit here. So I think... Yeah, I'm okay with all of these. We definitely don't pay the scholar. Yeah. That's too much money. That's too much money that we don't want to spend. So, dear nobles, what do you want to do here? What do you want to do? I'll buy into... I just want to know this before he ruins my other picnic spot. I think we should know more about the wreck. I think I agree with my fellow nobles here. It sounds like kind of a mysterious thing, but you know, that might turn up for the better. All right, 19 to 65. This looks pretty decided. Let's go. The chiefs should hire adventurers to investigate the wreck. Bah! Why must we foot the bill? The Adventurers Guild is always hungry for cash. They put together a ragtag band of their best explorers, led by a woman named Chania. We'll be back soon with news, don't worry. We never fail. Let the boss flow. So, what do we have here? We have an auction. I encourage you to spend your money, because you won't keep it after this reign. So you know what to do here. Auction starts in 3, 2, 1. Boop! Exclamation fund, exclamation mark fund, followed by the letter of the building you want to fund, followed by the amount of money you want to spend. Your options are raising faith for the barons with A. It would go up to 10. Raising stability with B. Lowering farming for the chiefs with C. Lowering instability with D. Raising trade for the patricians with E. Lowering trade for the patricians with F. A and B look wonderful. I agree. I agree. I strongly agree. I'm gonna let you know when there's 20 seconds left in chat. 20 seconds now. Then I'm gonna let you know when there's 10 seconds left, and then 5. Oh, D is winning now. 10 seconds left. Vote, spend your money, spend your freaking money. 5 seconds left. Do it. Oh my god, these are so expensive. These are so freaking expensive. 20,000. You actually took me on my word. That's cool. Yeah, this is a pretty expensive cathedral. Bob Burer spent all his money and lurks just a little bit, you know, because you never know. Oh, you actually spent like 3,000 on the cathedral too. Look at that. Good stuff. So we got a cathedral and a prison. All right. Yeah, Vaspir, you finally got to 10 faith. All right, a popular priest. Paul said to hello. Yeah, exactly. You could have fed the peasants or built a prison. Building with 4 golds. Yeah, this is not that kind of game. This might be your last auction, yeah. So let's take a look at the adventurers. Chania and her band of adventurers have returned from the wreck of the Gloria, Your Majesty, but they bring bad news. What's happened? We can only remember fragments, Your Majesty, like a half-forgotten nightmare. But I remember running down an endless labyrinth that twisted around me, coiling like a serpent. They couldn't reach the captain's cabin at the center, but Chania is willing to return if we give her better equipment. We're not gonna pay for better equipment. Oh! Oh! How to say no to 100%? How to say no to this, right? Like, does this cost us anything? Is the question. Ah, God. Yeah, I'm gonna say A. I'm gonna say A. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's give them better equipment. Like, this is actually super suspicious, right? Ethan, hello! The fact that they went in and had no memory. I'm very tempted to just send the Inquisition here, to be quite honest. Like, if there was an option to, nope, send the Inquisition, I would have probably voted for that one. It's pretty clearly A, so let's go. They may return, but they need better equipment. Yeah, this wreck is cursed, right? Northwind acquires better quality compasses and map-making materials from Chania and her zealous adventurers. They rush off to the wreck at once. The chiefs tell anyone who will listen that the adventurers are sure to come back in one piece. We'll see. This is horror movie 101. Agree. Just gonna forget about... Oh god, no. We should have given them, like... paper and pen, you know? Pencil and paper. Finding a spouse. Your Majesty, it's important you find a spouse sooner rather than later. I'll take the liberty of finding eligible candidates. Whether is your preference, men, women, or do you not mind? I want the women. Give me the women. Thank you, Your Majesty. I'll send out messengers to the most influential noble families of the kingdom. It's an easy enough decision. You'll marry into the barons, as we agreed before you took the throne, right? Right. It's not men. It's indeed not men. No. Felix doesn't even have the redeeming quality of being in the LGBT community, so... Not even that. Which volume of One Piece? I would not normally interfere with the Archbishop's dealings, Your Majesty, but I'm a bit concerned about his popularity in the March at the moment. Yeah, even Haskell. He might be a cishet, yeah, he might be. Felix is your kid, I think, yeah. They do love the church over there. Your authority has been slipping recently, I'm afraid to say. It is only natural that the people turn to alternative leaders. In this case, that's the Archbishop. Perhaps the other nobles could be convinced to help, I'm sure. A few of them are jealous of the attention the Archbishop lavishes on the barons. Well. Well. I'm not gonna give money. I think B. I think pretty clearly B here. Yeah, exactly, kinda. I would say B, for sure. Propaganda campaign is too open. This is not political enough. Donate a large sum to Marshall's church is out of the question. Allow him to continue. Like, I'm actually kind of conflicted between B and C, B and D. But why would Archie go against Felix? There might be reasons. Maybe he's just trying. Maybe he's not necessarily going against me, but he's using the power vacuum after the fall of the chain to gain more, you know, more traction, maybe. Tricks the North, encouraging them to support Felix. Yeah. I think it's B or D. Leaning towards B, though. Leaning towards B. Just because it's the March. Not even my nice loyalists are voting B. Not even my loyalists are voting B. Wow. Where are my loyalists? I thought we had loyalists in this game. Alright, it's actually really close. Okay, 15-11, now it's a little less close, so I'm gonna be counting down from 5. If you have not voted, this is the time. It can still be tied. Counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. 16 to 14. As discreetly as possible, you have the Spymaster circulate a number of unflattering rumors about the Archbishop. This is sacrilege, blasphemy, heresy. Where did she find these hogwash? It's all lies. Whether they're true or not doesn't really matter. The people of the March are horrified by the Archbishop's despicable behavior, and the Church's influence diminishes across the region. I see. I see how it is. I see how it is. Yeah, exactly. The poor cathedral. We need money, my dear nobles. We really need money here. We need money. I have no idea what we claimed. It was not said out loud. Huh. I don't want to tax you, but look at our treasury. Patricians look pretty rich, so I'm gonna get some money from the patricians here. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. That sounds reasonable. We need to fill the coffers a little bit, some way. So we're just gonna try to be careful about it. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. And trust me, I know better. I know better. Trust me, this is for the better. Sounds reasonable to me, right? I know for the better. A body unearthed. Wait. Is this a pirate wizard? Oh shit! Oh shit! Baspir? Baspir, I'm so sorry, Baspir, no! In the final episode, no! Please, please get some salutes in chat for Baspir. I'm so sorry, Baspir. Please, let's get some salutes. Oh my god. No way. I'm so sorry, Baspir. You survived for so long. You were there since the first episode. You survived for over 200 years. Your Highness, help me. Oh my god. I'm cursing the patties in death. I've been cursed, withering away. Reaper II to blame. Look, I didn't expect Gordia's spell to do that. Anyway, Baspir stole my prized eye-tissue toothbrush last week. I only wanted to give him a toothache. Karma, yeah, right? Unimaginable pain. Please, by the 9th, make it stop. Great God, this cannot go unpunished, Your Majesty. A moment later, Baspir's skull falls off and he collapses onto the floor in a pile. I'm so sorry, Baspir. The Reaper is succeeding. Reaper is succeeding. I'm gonna say I'm gonna roll the 40% here. I'm gonna roll the 40%. Just because I know that you won't do that. Oh, it's gonna be C for sure, because people hate me. Oh wow, we're gonna hang him? Thank God. Okay. Thank God. Thank God. I'm actually relieved that we're going for B. Y'all are ruthless. Yeah, that's what you call it. Justice, not vengeance. That's true, Northwind, yeah. And now we deal with them quick. Much quicker than we did with crabs. 19 to 12. I think it's pretty decided and kind of count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. How can we even hang it, Pirate Wizard? That is a great question. We'll see how that goes. No, I won't let you. Unlimited power shall be mine. Typical Reaper. As the Palace Watch moves to arrest him, they're vaporized by a wave of magical energy. Once the dust settles, Reaper II is nowhere to be seen. Well, this is awkward. The Barons aren't pleased that Reaper II got away, but no one can say you didn't try. There you go. That's what happens. So you just left, you piece of shit. You just left. You actually managed to leave and flee. Oh my God, we have a wizard on the run. You're still alive, yeah. I don't know if you finished your apprenticeship, like, or if you just have to run away, but still you are alive and you have magical power. Yeah, a rogue pirate wizard apprentice somewhere. Yeah. Just a normal conversation, yeah. Oh, Reaper lied? No shit. Wow. He might, yeah, I think he will be back. We'll see. We will see. Chief Northwind has her servants bring in his treasure to the council hall. Chania and her adventurers return from the wreck of the Gloria, Your Majesty. Is this them? They reached the hold of the shipwreck and found this. The other nobles recoil in horror. It's a corpse that almost looks human, encrusted all over with ice crystals, embedded into its flesh. Despite the heat of the lamps, the crystals remain solid and glittering. Nothing to see here, yeah. We think this was once a wizard. Could be the source of the wreck's teleportation and associated memory problems. We must handle this carefully, Your Highness. We don't know what to do with the remains. Can a wizard's body be destroyed at all? Good question. Put the body on display? That sounds really fucking dangerous. No? I would actually be okay paying the chief to return it. I think it's A or C. From me. A or C. Maybe C, you know? One of the two, A or C. Boom, there you go. That's my thought. I lived the life of a pirate. Wait, lived the life of a pirate wizard, and this is them many years later. Wait, what's that? I have no more living family within the kingdom. I guess I can't vote until something is resolved. Okay. I mean, you can elect a representative if you want to keep playing. So it's A or C, and it's currently a tie. 10 to 10, 10 to 11. 10 to 14, okay. We might go to stow the body back on the rack and keep it secret. 10 to 14, still pretty close. I gotta be counting down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Let's go. Stow the body back on the rack and keep it secret. It proclaimed. Oh my god, it's a success! Look who is authoritative here, huh? Proclamation bans discussion of the phenomenon of the wreck, and the peasants return to their farms with greater vigor. If a few memories go missing here and there, that's hardly your concern. Fantastic. Fantastic. Everybody's an imposter to your eyes, Electri. It's starting to become kind of a broken record. There you go. Alright, let's see who we want to marry. I have found 3 potential matches for you, 1 eligible young woman from each of the kingdom's 3 regions. Choose wisely, you'll be securing a powerful alliance. Yes, I know. So, let's see the eligible bachelorettes. They whisk away the cloth from the first portrait. Who's it gonna be? This is, oh my god, not Mag. This is Mag, the firstborn daughter of the Northern Player OT clan. She's your typical Northern lass, big, brawny, and honest. In the same way, an axe to the face is honest. Despite that, she's clearly got some brains. She's an avid reader with a vast library. People say she nurses a grudge, though. I can see the appeal, I suppose. From the coast, we have Eulalia, the wealthy heiress to Lady Patricia Hesperus' estate. I mean, just look at her. She's gorgeous, and apparently she's got a silver tongue, too. I mean, Hesperus' estate? Of course she's gorgeous. What were you thinking? Too bold. Her interests are typical of the coast. Money, 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 and making more of it. Unfortunately, she's quite bad at it. All her business deals seem to fall through. I like the sound of her. And finally, we have the Marshes offering. Tabecca, scion of the prestigious Ithanase bloodline. A typical baroness, really. Loud and brash and self-absorbed, but mostly well-meaning. I think this might be my cousin. Like most of the barons, her great passion is hunting. No beast is safe from her crossbow, and nor is she actually. She walks with a limp ever since she shot herself in the shin trying to hit a ferret. Yeah, this is the cousin. This is absolutely the king's cousin. They all suck. They all suck. They all suck. something. King Whiteless in a tyrannical being offered a family member, right? Yeah. Vampaloth, welcome and thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, everyone. How you doing? Can you get a shout out for Vampaloth, please? What's up? Hello, I am MrKaji, y'all. I'm glad to have you here. I stream King of the Castle, and that's pretty much the only thing I do. And tonight you're joining us in the grand finale of the Chain Pact Dynasty, a recurring role-playing dynasty that we've been playing for about 4 months now. This is the last episode. We're wrapping up, and after this, in the next couple weeks, we're going to be announcing a new role-playing dynasty and starting it. So if you like role-playing, if you like lore building, do stick around. How you doing, Vampaloth? Good evening, and thank you so much for bringing your people here. How you doing, and how was your stream? Technolocker, long time no see, hello. What up? Yeah, the brides kinda suck. The brides are not good. Brides are not good at all. So we have... Oh my god. Sounds like a laugh. Go bold or go not. God damn it. God dang it. What do we do? I know I don't have... I know I'm not bound by the pact, but... Finished in my 11-hour long stream. Had a lot of fun in both Pebbly and Deep Rock Galactic. That's awesome! Congrats! 11-hour stream. I think I've done like a couple of those in my whole time streaming, so good job. I'm gonna slowly wind down. Of course, it's something and go to bed. That sounds like a lovely plan. If I can, I'm glad if I can keep you company while you eat something and you know, unwind a little. But if you have to step away, absolutely do. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Do take care. Glad to hear you're doing well, Technolocker. I'm doing fantastic. I passed my last exam on Monday. I am free of uni exams. I'm a new man. I am absolutely great. So, what do we do here? As a storyteller, I think not marrying is the play because it repudiates the pact and its emphasis on marriage as a unifier. I'm kind of thinking of going for that, but also Felix kind of recognizes the importance of marriage, of political, like he knows that people hate his guts, some people at least, right? So he's definitely trying to get friends. So let me take a look at my traits, actually. No, like, what are the options for not marrying? Parting, faith, sweetheart, and is that it? Is that it? Yeah, the peasant is what I mean. Party, faith, commoner. That's it, right? It's definitely not commoner. It's definitely not partying. And faith. There's a trait that goes against that. Yeah, I have a trait that goes against the faith marriage, the faith option to refuse marriage. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Like maybe he wants to secure the support of the church, but if you put it that way, maybe. Maybe. Don't tell me this monarch is Caldevagan. Who knows? So maybe he wants to secure the support of the church without actually caring. That is... Yeah, I need to think for a second here. So it's either that, it's either the faith option to not marrying, Or trying to find a political marriage here. This is tough. You could dislike the bulk of the church, who just preaches, while liking the Inquisition, who go fight demons, which is respectable to a soldier. He has a very, like, I have a very specific trait for his relationship with the church. I have a very specific trait. I think I might see the not marrying. I think I might see that. I want to live a life of chastity in honor of the ninth god. This is not even. This doesn't even have to do with the church. It's just a very blatant profession of faith. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think we marry. This feels really forced. Like, I understand the narrative potential, but it feels really forced. No, this guy would marry. This guy would find a political marriage for sure. What's the argument against marrying the Marcia's candidate? She's terrible. Yeah, like, what would Felix do? What would Felix do? And Mag is a bookkeeper or something, you know, brawny and book person, but holding a grudge. Eulalia is money, and being bad at it, so that's out of the question. And Tabeka is a bad hunter, bad huntress. It might actually be Tabeka. It's either Mag or Tabeka. The March candidate from your bloodline, Ethan. I'm glad you asked. Yours. In my honest opinion, Mag is the best choice, does not have negative connotation in this dynasty, and can appease the North, who is the second best military. That's my thought. That's my thought. Yeah. Yeah. Like, Tabeka is the least bad, but he is concerned that by marrying his cousin, he's gonna give off the impression of being a tyrant, which he doesn't want to be quite fair. I think it's Mag. I think it's Mag. Excellent, I'll make the arrangements. Yeah, I think it's Mag. That being the reasoning. Trying to ensure this being close to the second highest military and trying not to look like a freaking tyrant. Up in the north, Chief Pinky is hosting a grand feast at her clan hall. The kingdom's fine, no one's calling for the king's advisors to resign. We need to step it up, more chaos, more panic. Then we can swoop in and take the king under our arm like a wee duckling. This is A, Manu. A, and if we don't like it, we'll squeeze. He don't like it. The chief's aim is to lower stability to 4 or less. Where can I find what happened in the Discord? It's probably going to be discussed all over the place, but definitely in the Kingdom lore, Chain Pact Dynasty Chronicles. A summary will be posted, or you can just watch the VOD. Oh, Pinky's already sleeping. I see. Have a good night, bump viewer. So, here. Definitely Iron Choice. And we're gonna take away Monarch's vote. Yes. Let's go. Easing the tensions, the royal wedding. Let's do the royal wedding first. Let's get this out of the way. Like, he wants to go through the motions as fast as possible just to make sure that he has a firm grip on the kingdom. Your wedding to Mag is naturally the talk of the kingdom. Nobles and peasants alike travel from across the realm to attend. For a week and a day, the capital is one giant party. It feels like you're the only one not taking part, so now you're standing in St. Bertrand's Cathedral with Mag at your side. Wait, has Felix done anything heavy-handed this reign? I don't think so, right? No, Felix is from Ace's lineage. Ethan Ace. With his attitude towards the church? You don't even know what his attitude towards the church is. Do you take this woman as your lawfully wedded wife? I do. Then I pronounce you king and wife. After the wedding, of course, there's a feast, and after the feast, a dance. Your new wife, Mag, delivers a short but heartfelt toast expressing a wish to get to know you better. Yeah, he's your son. By the time you find yourself alone with Mag, it's past midnight, and you've never felt more tired. I miss the north. It's too warm down here, and people twist their words that don't mean what they say. What do you mean? Everyone down here speaks in circles, insulting each other without really insulting each other. I don't know how you stand it. Yeah, you get used to it. I suppose you were born into it, weren't you? You had no choice but to get used to it. After finishing the last of the wine, you head to your separate bedchambers. It seems your wife is happy to take her time getting to know you. Alright. Alrighty. Let's do the capital proposition. Grand! Our soldiers are renowned throughout the kingdom and beyond. We've awarded so many medals they can serve as full plate in a mail. Full plate mail in a pinch, Your Majesty. Granted, we've had our issues with them getting restless, but even so, they've gone from strength to strength. Why don't I transfer some of our best troops to help police the capital? That improves security and show the Marcher army for what it is, the pride of the kingdom. You want to station soldiers in the capital? Even sparse corruption is outraged. Your esteemed highness, think of the threat to your security. Let us make use of them instead. Okay. Bring the Marcher soldiers to the capital. Order them to help out the patricians. Leave the troops in the march where they belong. I'm kind of tempted to do A, to be quite honest here. I'm kind of tempted to do A. Yeah. Yeah. I think we might do A. I'm gonna say A, like this. I'm gonna say A like this. It makes sense that he would try to push an iron choice on A. Yeah, it makes sense. He's okay with that. That sounds like a smart idea. What could go wrong having Marcher soldiers in the capital? What could ever go wrong? Right? I actually don't know what could go wrong. It feels like something could definitely go wrong. But this is so close. 6 to 8. 6 to 10, 11. 8 to 11. Still close. 8 to 11. Alright, I'm gonna count down from 5 here. 8 to 13. Alright, it's starting to be a little less close, but you'll still vote and try to tie it. Counting down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Alright. That's true, Northwind. Order them to help out the patricians. Grumbling, the barons sent some of their less decorated troops over to the coast. The Marcher soldiers soon whipped the local troops into shape. As squads of Marcher infantry parade proudly through the villages, coastal peasants flock to admire them, keen to hold their own spears and wear their own plumed helmets. Many join up on the spot. This is also great narrative for Felix, because these are the troops who won the revolution. So, peasants are admiring the soldiers that deposed the previous monarch. Cows go on milk and fields unplowed, but the army ranks swell with the enthusiastic recruits. That's what we want. and easing the tensions. Your Majesty, nobles of the Council, tensions are running high, but the kingdom itself is stable. Perhaps it's time we forget our past troubles and come together as friends? What do you have in mind, Chancellor? Look at how the Chancellor is really trying here to do their job. We could exchange gifts, or hold a friendly competition, a fashion show perhaps, or a game of riddles. Your Majesty, why don't we hold a vote on a team-building exercise to help you and the Council trust each other again? Yes, we could absolutely do that. This sounds like a lovely idea, Chancellor. Thank you. Thank you, Chancellor. This is akin to keeping the Council busy while we do stuff that needs to be done. Yeah, see, you like riddles. I knew you would like riddles. I knew you'd like riddles, and I'm 100% sure that is the only reason why you're voting C. I'm sure you're not thinking of me spending money. It's pretty clearly C. Let's go. Felix clearly intends to being a tyrant. I love how you just jump to conclusions. A game of riddles could be fun. Wonderful, I'll make the arrangements at once. The nobles can work together on the riddles with a hefty cash prize if they get it right. The nobles of the council begin murmuring, this is a chance to prove the sharpness of their wits. They better brush up on their riddles. Alright. I would vote D. Of course you would have. That is anti-kingdom, though. In a dingy seaside tavern, two patricians of the coast meet to plot their latest scheme. The coast economy has never been better. We're making more money than I know what to do with. Shroom mage. Hey, you piece of shit schemer. Money breeds money. I've made a series of investments to improve our profits even more. But what do we do with all the rest of this gold? Time to start buying things, of course. Land, roads, bridges will buy up the whole kingdom piece by piece. To be fair, you did say Felix would be heavy-handed and Barons know best last stream. Yeah. I know. I absolutely know. This is not really about going hand in hand. It's more about distracting the council, you know? Like making the council run in circles while we take decisions on other stuff. But first the king must be in desperate need of our gold. To advance their scheme, the patricians must lower the treasury to 1,500 or less in 2 seasons. Consider it done. So, a game of riddles, a petitioner from afar. A petitioner from afar, you say? It's time to divorce. Actually, there's no point. Let's start with the riddles. Your Majesty, I've asked the court jester to help us with our game of riddles. Fiddly-dee, fiddly-dum, let's test our wits and have some fun. Oh no. Prithee, what walks on 4 legs in the... Man! It's man! Spellfanat really knows their riddles. It's good stuff. Yeah, I know, Dragon Pit. By the old gods, that was an easy one. Of course, you're a bard, of course you would know that. Man! Yeah, of course it does exist. You canny riddlers, after all, have pity on this poor fool. But since the council's mood is nigh funereal, I shall break out some new material. For the next hour, the jester capers around the council hall, posting riddles and occasionally hitting Lord Patrician Spellfanat with an inflated pig's bladder on his stick. Finally, he sings out the final and most difficult riddle of all. I make dogs cry, I change my shape, to find me look in the sunless lake. What? What am I? I make dogs cry, I change my shape, to find me look in a sunless lake. Oh! Oh, I see. I see. Dogs can't cry. Debatable. It's the moon, right? Yeah. It's not blood. It's not blood. It's not blood. It's evidently moon. It's evidently a moon. It's evidently the moon. It's pretty clear that it's the moon. The moon song is face palming so hard. The hardest riddle of all. What am I? Of course. This is a pretty good one though. I like the rhyme. Alright, pretty clear it's gonna be C. I appreciate, like, now I kind of want to know what you think it was with C, D, and S. You know, those of you who voted something else, what do you think it was? This moon. A cloud, I see. What say you, Your Majesty? Dost thou agree with thine council members? Yes, I think they're correct. Absolutely. I kind of pushed them to vote for that, so yeah. Wise you are indeed, I must humbly concede. The answer is the moon. It was not this moon. The council's wisdom has left me in awe, and what's more, it's left the king poor. In awe? Paul? What's that pronunciation? The jester cartwheels out of the council hall, leaving the nobles celebrate their victory and sharing their cash prize among themselves. What the fuck? What? That's not how it works, Northwind. Let's take a look at the petitioner here. Your Majesty, there is a petitioner here to see you today. We're not exactly sure where she's from. What does she want? You'll see soon enough, Your Majesty. Greetings, Your Majesty. My name is Orid. I have a proposition for you. Orid, where are you from? Distant shores, Your Majesty. I prefer to keep my exact origins a secret. Tell me more about this proposition. 3 ships are docked in a harbor to the west. Their hulls are packed to the gills with muskets and gunpowder. They each boast a full battery of cannons. They're all yours in return for a small favor. And what is this favor? I only wish to stay in this kingdom with your blessing and protection. I can show your soldiers how to use the weapons, of course, to avoid any accidents. Okay? Okay. We are going to be taking her. I would say let's provide safe harbor. But it's up to you, of course, to be assholes if you so want. If you really want to be a-holes, you know what to vote. Like, how evil inside are the nobles? Can you go against Orid, really? Can you really go against Orid? It's a lot of people are going against Orid. Wow, you hate her so much that you wanna take her prisoner? Really? What the hell? This might be a first for me. I don't think people have ever taken Orid prisoner. Alright, 12 to 13. I'm gonna be counting down from 5. It's a tie now, so vote. 4. 3. It's a tie, you can vote to break the tie. 2. 1. 0. Okay. Okay. Interesting. New content. That's a very interesting concept that resonates very much with the roleplay dynasty. You know, Vitamin Chi? We support the demilitarization of the kingdom through financial acquisitions. Yeah, sure. Find the 2 chiefs. Yeah, right. I mean, Felix is actually like she's just offering the weapons, right? We can just sell her later, or just, you know, like, I wouldn't know that, but like she's just offering weapons. Why say no? So yeah, we're gonna grab them. Why wouldn't he want to take Orid prisoner and steal her stuff? Because she's already offering them. Like, if it was something if there was a, how do you say, an obstacle in achieving these weapons, he would just have taken her prisoner. But he doesn't see any obstacle right now. But if it's not, then we should consider votes. Oh, it's a different thing. Or did her weapons prove most useful in the coming months? She and her crew train your officers as promised. Or demonstrates by puncturing a metal breastplate at 500 yards. The council clearly made the right decision. Alright. It's good stuff. Now let's joust. Your Majesty, the Barons of the March have invited you to a jousting tournament. How delightfully rustic. I will compete myself, of course. Superb, Your Majesty. I will send your acceptance directly. Let's go. Deep in the back rooms of the Royal Palace, the March Barons are poring over secret letters and scribbled diagrams. On the wall is a corkboard filled with pins and crisscrossed by colored string. The king didn't marry Tabecca, but at least he married someone. Now he just needs to get on with finding an heir. Hey, the clock is ticking. The coastal economy is booming even more than usual, and I'm convinced the patricians are hoarding wealth for some nefarious end. I just can't figure out what. Then, we've got to keep up our efforts. King Felix isn't going anywhere on our watch. Oh, I'm not going to do anything of the sort. Howitzer. Of course. The Barons must continue to aid the king by countering the other region's schemes. Yeah, Canny is there. Alright, y'all. Auction time. You know what to do here. Let's start in 3, 2, 1. Boom! Exclamation mark fund, followed by the letter of the bill you want to fund, followed by the amount of money you want to spend. Your options are raising farming for the Barons with A, raising authority with B, lowering stability with C, lowering authority with D, raising trade for the patricians with E, and lowering military for the patricians with F. I'm gonna let you know when there's 20 seconds left in the chat. You do the thing. Fund! Spend your money! What are you doing? Spend your money. I'm gonna take it away anyway. 20 seconds left. This is the last episode. You won't take it with you after the end of the dynasty, so spend that money. 10 seconds left. And also I'm gonna tax you, so 5 seconds left. And boom! Look at the fucking Chiefs. DL Dragon with 5,000 and Dragon Pit with 3,500. Contributing to theater and prison, just demolishing the king's reputation. Wow. Yeah, you're not the richest. That's insane. She's been pretty canny. So yeah, let's do this. Your marriage to Mag has grown stale. Yeah, we don't really care. Congrats are in order. You need an heir. You know what? Who do I trust better than my youngest cousin, right? Right? Or bastard child, right? I would say my youngest cousin, who's probably already like a soldier too. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. We do that. New thing indeed. We don't really care for all those silly traditions that y'all were observing. We don't really care about that kind of stuff, you know? Having a child with your spouse doesn't really change things much. Ace Felix for the win. Oh, that's what you mean. A special guest. The Barons have assembled upon a jousting field, watching from tall stands. The place is buzzing with excitement. A servant straps on your armor and helps you mount your horse. She hands you a lance, and you ride out onto the field. Welcome one and all, we have a most thrilling guest today. Astral, isn't this the second time you have one of these? Astral actually went to bed. As you ride your horse past the stands, nobles gasp and stare. I'm gonna glare at the crowd just because I'm cool. The barons gasp, then applaud wildly. Yeah, they know my style. When the jousting starts, you quickly realize your opponents swerve each time they approach. They don't want to hurt a king. Puts a dent in the challenge, really. Bracing match, isn't it? You're beating everyone soundly. We're going to make the most of our advantage. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna do it. A real match? What do we care for a real match? You win, no matter what. Right? Like, you win. If people let you win, you win. Your opponents... We're not a fighter, we are a winner. Your opponents do not dare touch you. One deliberately falls off his own horse rather than risk regicide. But by the end, the audience is in good humor, laughing at your opponents and cheering for you. At the end of the tournament, Baron Astra Projectile III cheerfully hands you a bag of gold as your prize. You're a commander, prove it. This is not really, you know, what we did here is not, it was basically turn a joust into a spectacle, into a show. I think that actually what Felix did here was not really pretend like this was a real fight, but towards the end, he was actually probably kind of like joking about how people were not actively fighting, you know? Like he started fighting, at the start he was fighting seriously. But when he realized that people were just not competing, he started to put up a show for the crowd, you know? Like maybe running towards with a lance and then stopping right before hitting a knight and seeing them fall off and then looking at the crowd and be like, whatever did I do? You know? Something like that. He put up a show. Yeah, yep. I mean, it was a good show if it wasn't for the guy wanting us to put wheels on the horses. I mean, fighting while being disguised is so much less him. He would never disguise himself. Even to get a real fight. Like, he doesn't see... He thinks the pity, the shame is on the people who are not fighting. They're the ones who are not fighting, not him. So she's fine. You know, like, if you think about it, these are soldiers. They're expected to fight. And they're not doing it for fear of hurting the king. Shame on them. Like, this is the military mentality that he has. Like, it shouldn't be his job to step down and disguise him, but it should be their job to step up and fight him. That's what it thinks. Like, if none of you is a warrior enough to fight me, I'll win. If that's what you want, you know? That's how it is in his mind. Tempting offer. I hope that gave you a little bit of a glimpse into Felix's mind. Shrew Mage, hello. Your Majesty, it has come to my attention that across the kingdom there are all manners of roads, bridges, walls, canals. And what do they all have in common? They're damned expensive to build. No, most of them are crumbling. And the upkeep costs an arm and a leg, am I right? And yet they make you no money. I'm willing to take them off your hands, saving you the cost of upkeep, and pay you handsomely in return. As your treasure, it makes perfect financial sense. What do you make of it? Fortunately, the treasure is looking quite healthy. We don't need to sell anything. Okay, whatever you say. But deciding the interests of the patricians in public property is quite suspicious. Perhaps we should call a council vote? I was expecting to have a wow, Felix sucks. Why did I support this arc? But things did not work out that way. Guess I never heard of tolls. There you go. Yeah, here are the tolls. I kind of want to put the tolls, you know? Yeah, let's do the tolls. This looks lovely. Let's do the tolls. I like it. I like it. Let's charge tolls. I mean, your treasury did say that your treasury is healthy. Yeah, but this sounds like a smart idea anyway, right? So, why the hell not? Chiefs need to get to stage 2 before we can lower treasury. Yeah, A allows them to do that. That's true. 11 to 14. This is incredibly close, y'all. Look how many patricians there are. Where are the barons? Barons, where are you? Barons, what the fuck? It's your time to vote here. Come on. I'm gonna be counting down from 5 here. If you have not voted, this vote is pretty close, 11 to 14. So vote now. Barons, wake up. Counting down. Should I do like a roll call here? Okay, here are the barons coming in. Counting down from 5, 4, 13 to 14. It's super close. 3, 2, 1, and 0. Come on. Okay. There's no reason to take any drastic action. King Israel, too little, too late. Thank the 9th. This is a free country after all. Steaming on the beach outside the sand-bleached villa, chief patricians of the coast meet to plot their latest scheme. The thrice-cursed king is still refusing to sell us any public land. It makes sense, the treasury is not exactly suffering right now. Patience, my friend. Let's bide our time until the king's gold runs out. The patricians aim to lower the treasury to 1,500 or less. Oh, look at that. Well, we know what to do here. We're just gonna take some money from people. See, I see a bunch of rich people here. Let's take money from them. Let's do that. Just to make sure that we have enough funds in case we need them for war. Let's just aim to start a rebellion. So... I take my few back. Does this game have a tax the rich event? That's the one. But there are also a few events that that allow you to do extra taxes, I think. This is why the pact was good. There you go. Steele said it. Vapus. Are you a baron, Vapus? No, you're patrician. Ah, I see. Anyway, in case you're new, in the Key in the Castle community, it's customary to change your chat name color to the one of the region you belong to. It makes chat much more readable and it makes it easier for everybody to know where you are. You don't have to do it, but just so you know in case you didn't know. So, Life of a Champion, I like that. Let's go. I regret, that's not a good start. I regret to inform you that I have jousting news from the march, Your Majesty. Do they want me to come back? But yeah, no worries, Vapus. Not exactly, Your Majesty. The people of the march were very inspired by your performance, and the barons have petitioned for a jousting school to be set up in your name. Well, that's great. See? They were impressed. They were impressed, and now I'm gonna spend money for it. Fuck. I'm gonna fund the jousting school. Whatever will I do? I'm gonna be funding it. Yeah, I'm gonna be funding it with my money. Granddad would have loved it. I will absolutely be funding it. There's no question about it in my mind. See, people like me. They're even opening up jousting schools in my name. People like me. 16 to 5, this looks pretty decided. I'm counting down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Yeah, that's an opinion, Lelkatlin. That's an opinion. Cheers, my liege. This won't be a wasted investment, I promise you. Wait and see. The school is a resounding success, and jousting fever sweeps the marsh. Visitors flock to learn and spectacle, and the economy booms. I literally spent 1,100 gold for nothing. Like, that event had 3 effects: raising trade and military and lowering defiance, and it did none of that. All it did was spend me some money and get me some social cash. Talk of good investments, right? That's why I'm Baron and not a patrician. God damn it. Yeah, it's a school in your name, exactly. That's all the reason. God damn it. Plus Baron Prestige. Yeah, it's the only one. Humble request. Yeah, you can RP with it. Ah, there you are. I've been looking for you. Call me by my name, come on. I have a proposition. What do you need? I'm writing a book about northern culture and folklore and how it shapes the north today. There's a new machine that can print hundreds of copies on the same book at once. It's called a printing press. I was hoping that you could fund the process, that my book could be sold all over the north, maybe even the whole kingdom. Yeah, it's good to be a baron now, yeah. No, definitely not profit. You're right, Northwind, yeah. Yeah, right, you had me at fund. Yeah, I don't think we do. We don't have money to spare. Hey, I understand. Thank you for hearing me out, though. In the following weeks, Mag continues to write her book without your help, but its impact is minimal. It sees a very subdued release and makes practically no money. I had no doubt. I had no doubt. Books. What do you think? The Kurth captain that you allowed to stay in the capital, the one who traded those weapons, she has been the cause of some concern. Nobles have complained that she has been rude and confrontational. She does not know royal etiquette, after all. Maybe she's a Republican. Worse, some suspect her of being a Kurth spy. I'll have a word. You find Ord pacing the halls far from her assigned chambers. I heard you were causing trouble. And where did you hear that? It doesn't matter. I just have a lot to ponder. I'm the king, surely I can do something? She studies you for a moment, then shakes her head. I appreciate the offer, Your Majesty, but I must deal with this myself. Please excuse me. She walks away without another word, leaving you to ponder her secrets. Okay? There you go. We should have imprisoned her. So, who doesn't like some money here? Who doesn't like some money? Felix is not beyond corruption, is not above corruption for sure. Another shark. It's actually probably the same one. Stage fright? Stage fright. Let's take a look at the bounty hunters first. Your Majesty, these good folk are bounty hunters, representing the Republic of Kurth, they say. King Felix will greet you humbly. I have little time for mercenaries? No, definitely not. How may I help you? We are searching for someone, a fugitive, you might say. Last we heard, she went by the name Orid. I'm afraid she's under my protection. As we feared, still perhaps we can work out a deal? The Grand Pensionary of Kurth is offering a large bounty for the return of this woman, and we are sure that an esteemed king such as yourself would not risk drawing Kurth's ire. As proof of our goodwill, we will even allow you to keep the firearms that were stolen. You know what? I'm gonna give you gold to hand it over. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna give you all to hand her over. Because why not? Yeah. What if he said no? Well, we'll see. I'm gonna offer you some monetary compensation to hand her over. Wow. Okay. If she's not a pirate, we don't know. She might be a pirate, for all we know. Who knows? I'm doing my part. Where are you, Thrifty? Here you are. Good, good, my man. Think your council likes Ord? I think so too, yeah. We don't need dirty money. We'll see about that. Alright, looks like we're gonna pay the hunters. Alright, let's go. The bounty hunters do not take long to consider your offer. They return to Kurth with the head of a nameless prisoner. You hope officials back in the Republic will be none the wiser. Ord decides to stay in the kingdom, offering her advisory services to your navy as payment for sparing her. Alright. Yeah, right, why? You almost imprisoned her. What do you mean you like her? Stage fright, what is this? Oh, shit. This is the one vitamin she was talking about earlier. Your Majesty, there have been some strange rumors regarding the grand theater recently built in the northern city of Fjell. People are saying that an unscheduled play is performed there at midnight, and that anyone who watches it will die 6 days later. Several deaths have already occurred. So, sorry, did you say 6 days? By the old gods, Your Majesty, I went and saw that midnight play out of idle curiosity. That was 5 days ago. What happened in the play? There were only 3 actors, members of the daytime cast. They seemed to be in some kind of trance, like they were sleepwalking. The story was a bit unclear. 2 of them were allies in a war. They captured the 3rd in battle and then devoured him in some kind of morbid banquet. After that, I got scared, so I left the theater. Maybe that means I'll leave? I'm sure it's nothing to worry about. It very much is something I'm worried about. Save me, by Morgana's sake. Must have been a killer show. Good one. Oh my god, I really want to send the High Inquisitor. Oh my god, I really want to send the High Inquisitor here. So this sounds super serious. Like, people are dying. People are dying. I would say let's send the High Inquisitor. Like, we need to do something about this for sure. The game knows that Morgan wrote a story about the High Inquisitor. You're right. You're right. Oh my god. God, I really want to see the Inquisitor do this. I know you'll send me in the end, but I'm really hoping to see that. Too many people died. That's what people do. Yeah, as expected. As expected. I kind of wanted to give the Inquisitor a moment to shine. Barons, where the hell are you? Are you asleep, Barons? Wake up! I gotta do a roll call here to the Barons. We have Lurks, Manager May, Thrifty Tokens, Astral Projectile, Use Urdu, Improbable Kate, Sirius Heap, King Israel, Vatspear, Vitamin She, Cobra Commander, Simple Coffee, Battle of Cannae, Bomb Viewer, Ethan Ace. Boom. There you go. If you heard your name, vote. Alright, I'm gonna be counting down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Wait, the Inquisitor can die? I'm awake, honest. Send the king to watch a performance. It's decided that you should go and investigate this midnight play for yourself. Unfortunately, before you go, there is a bad omen. Chief Falsetti II was right to be worried. They died the next day, convulsing and frothing at the mouth. Vapors, thank you so much for being here. Hope you had a good time. Have a great night and or day. And hope to see you around next time. Take care. The death playing on your mind, your journey down to Fiel and enter the theater at midnight. The lobby is dark and full of jagged shadows. The silence is hungry. Your honor guard accompany you, but somehow you don't feel comforted by their presence. As you settle into your seat, someone on stage lights a candle. 3 actors stand in a circle of flickering light. They look like they're sleepwalking, but that doesn't stop them launching into their lines. You might be, Reaper. Try as thou might, usurper, thou cannot prevail, not against all 8 of us. 8 of you, thine prime master hath vanished, which maketh 7. I have drowned the 3rd, which maketh 6, and my new ally maketh 5. Ally? I am sorry, my brother. We are destined to lose this fight if we do not bend the knee. Sister, together we forged this world from stardust. You would turn traitor for this newcomer? The rest of the play unfolds. The 2 newfound allies defeat their enemy in battle, lay him out on a table and feast together on his flesh. His special effects are worryingly convincing. But in the bloody banquet's aftermath, the actress slips a poisoned seed into the actress' swine. She dies, cursing him for a traitor, as flowers burst from her belly. The curtains close on a scene of tragedy. The actor, the last survivor, steps forward, eyes piercing your soul. I will let you free, your majesty, without suffering my curse, on one condition. You answer my question. Who was I portraying in that play? Felix probably knows. Felix is a ninthist, after all. Yeah, exactly, Osweed, exactly. Felix is a ninthist. Felix is not a Caldewagen. Roll a religion check. Yeah, Felix is a ninthist. A very pragmatic ninthist, but a ninthist nonetheless. Yeah. He is steeped into marcher culture. And as such, he has a solid ninthist foundation. Like, part of the reason why he fought in the Caldewagen, in the Ashmedian War, is faith. There was definitely a religious edge to that for him. I don't know, nobody's alive, so probably ninth. Good guess. Felix is a ninthist despite his whole family being anti-church. I mean, know your enemy, right? I'm pretty sure that all the A's family knows this kind of stuff. Yeah, not quite like that, Dragon Pit. Not quite like that. Again, very pragmatic. But yeah, I think he knows this. I think it makes sense that he knows this. So it's the ninth. I was about to click first. Oh my god. This is the ninth. Correct. The usurper, the god who drowned the 3rd and betrayed the 6th, and cast my master the 7th into the hells. The actor's voice drips with venom. Is that a god worthy of worship, your majesty? You fill your churches with his symbol, but you know nothing of his true nature. You are a fly worshipping the child that tears off its wings. With that, the actor falls still. He wakes from his trance, mutters something about needing to get home, and staggers off stage. The demonic presence leaves the theater for good. When you return to the palace unarmed and uncursed, the chiefs are confused, but grateful. A dozen heretical cults spring up around the incident, and a nearby church has to be closed down after the worshippers are wrecked with hideous visions of blood and flowers. We should have fucking sent an inquisitor, I told you! God damn it! We should have fucking sent an inquisitor. Upsetting news from the coast, your majesty. Several peasants have been killed by a shark. I've already sent your condolences. You can't close my beach! No one mentioned closing that which is vital for coastal tourism. You can't close it just because a few people got on the wrong end of the fish. Yeah, now I really want to close it. You can't! I'll take this all the way to the council. Can we please close the beach? Please? Pretty please? Wait, what's that? Change key! Hello? No, actually I saw you earlier. Thank you so much for the follow. Happy to have you. So I think what we'll do here is push to shut down the beach here. Right? Yeah. The big brain play here would be do this. Yeah, that would be the big brain play. Oh, I like this. Nah, I need to do this. We need to shut down the beach. We need to shut down the beach. Yeah. Yeah, this is the dynasty all about going against schemes. That's true. That is true. That is indeed true. And I think Felix is in for a bad ride real soon. It's actually closer than I expected. 11 to 6. 11 to 6 is a little less close, but 11 to 7, 11 to 8. Wow, this is closing up. 11 to 8, pretty close. It can be tied. I'm gonna be counting down from 5 here. If you have not voted, do it now. Barons in particular, what are you doing? 4, 12 to 9, 3, 2, 1, 0. 13 to 9. So did Felix kick out the peasants, or are they here watching us vote on should we let a shark keep eating peasants? Peasants are out. Ignoring advice from various grizzled fishermen, you decide to keep the beach open. Coastal tourism cannot be allowed to suffer. Just wait and see. After eating a few more peasants, the shark will simply get bored and swim away. And lastly, the patrician just giving away's prediction doesn't come to pass. More and more people vanish from the beach, leaving nothing but red circles in the water. Jesus. Soon enough, nobody dares visit. There's a catastrophic decline in tourism, and as more sharks gather, the fish stocks dwindle too. Because I guess that things would start to go wrong after attending a haunted demonic midnight play, right? Alright, the kingdom's on the brink of collapse, and the council is calling for the king's advisors to resign. If we want them gone, though, we need to increase the pressure. Once the king's in a weak enough position, he's got no choice but to bow to our demands. No more interfering spymaster, no more marshal or chancellor or treasure. A whole new inner circle are all made up of chiefs. For the next stage of their scheme, the chiefs must lower authority to 4 or less in 3 seasons. And patricians! Sitting on a bench outside a sun-bleached villa, 2 patricians of the coast meet to plot their latest scheme. To what do I owe this pleasure, Madam Treasurer? Oh, give it a rest, you know why I'm here. Let's just hurry this up, shall we? Where do I sign? Here and here and here? There you go. You got what you wanted. Of course, goodbye, Madame Treasurer. Do my eyes deceive me? Was that the royal treasurer you were speaking with? Indeed, my friend, good news. With the king's gold running out, the treasurer was willing to sell off the kingdom's roads and bridges. Soon this kingdom will be ours, but what will we do when we own everything? Patricians of the coast, what do you want to do? Do you want to turn the king into our proud corporate mascot trying to raise stability? Or do you want to mercilessly extract wealth from the kingdom until it collapses, trying to lower authority? What do you want to do, patricians? Do you want to make the kingdom collapse? Or do you want to make a kingdom your mascot? The king your mascot? What is your option? What do you do? Oh my god. It looks like it's going to be mercilessly extract wealth from the kingdom until it collapses. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Okay. Alright. Yeah, it's gonna be it. Alright. We've invested a lot of money into this kingdom. It's about time we started turning a profit. But what about the king? Won't he try to stop us? The key word here is, my friend, is try. For the final stage of the patrician scheme, they must lower authority to 4 or less. I sure hope the Chain Pact Dynasty doesn't mean the kingdom collapses. Me too. There's a real... Yeah, change my mind. I don't want the past to win anymore. Yeah, there's a real chance that that's gonna happen. Oh my god. Wait, I have an ear. Oh my god, there's a chance. This is gonna be close. This is going to be close. Felix is the only proper way to stop the oaths from destroying the kingdom. Maybe it won't collapse fully and will just collapse in on the king's head? A la Hornblower. Your quest... Yeah, chiefs. Exactly. Your quest for an heir is finally complete. You stand before the council holding a small child in your arms. Should I die, I ask that my crown be passed down to... my cousin and adopted daughter. The assembled nobles break out into polite applause. By designating an heir, you cemented the stability of the kingdom. Electrui, thank you for the... Your Serene Highness, may I be the first to congratulate you on adopting an heir. What is her name? Felix II. Marvelous, Your Esteemed Highness. I'm sure little Felix II will grow up to be a chief of the old block. It might be, Marley, yes. Alright. Like Felix in theory, I guess my feeling is he sucks, but in the way you would expect a monarch to suck. So, an urgent meeting, you say? Well, let's do the... Oh god. Let's do the urgent meeting. One evening at dinner with Queen Consort Mag, the Spymaster strolls into the room. She gently places a sheaf of papers at your elbow. What's this? A new satirical poet surfaced, Your Majesty. They call themselves the Sapphire. It could even be a group. My agents haven't unearthed much more than that. Mag leafs through the papers. As she reads, she stifles a laugh behind her hand. Mag, what the fuck? The Sapphire mostly turns their ire towards the patrician of the coast. Greedy and grasping are those on the coast, the least likable friends unless you pay them the most. That's actually pretty good! That's pretty good! Greedy and grasping are those of the coast, the least likable friends unless you pay them the most. See, this stuff, this is so perfect. This is super... Yeah, for two reasons, exactly. Reason number one, what Northwind just said. Songs have been a low-key theme for the whole dynasty. We've had bards all over the place. So that's reason number one. Reason number two, it is so fitting that in a kingdom where the fabric of society, as was known in the Chain Pact Dynasty, which was an environment of collaboration between regions and mutual acceptance. Now that that social fabric is not there anymore, you know, that unifying factor of the chain pact is not there anymore, and the social fabric is starting to tatter, to fray at the edges. Stuff like this starts coming up. Regions insulting each other again, right? This is pretty good. I'm honestly not sure if the game is self-aware or not. It's insane, right? If we bring the pact back, and we don't get an anthem before the end, I will riot. I think regions insulted each other plenty under the Chain Pact. We just didn't pay as much mind. No, the nobles insulted each other. This is the people. It's different. It's different. And the monarchs have been, you know, counteracting that. But Felix won't. Ha! I like it. Many agree with you. These poems are becoming hugely popular. The Sapphire feels the patricians are self-interested and do not keep their responsibilities for the people. They do have a point. They do. If this carries on, the patricians may pressure the crown to step in, or the people of the coast may grow discontented. I quite like the poetry myself. The Spymaster arches an eyebrow, then she bows, leaving you and Mag to your dinner. I quite like the poetry myself. Yeah, beard stroking action. I kind of like this, you know, yeah. Yes, the Aquila Dynasty is archived on here. yeah, you can find it. There are playlists that you can find in the video section. All right, bankruptcy looms. Let's go. The treasury is almost empty, Your Highness. What do you suggest we do? Apart from raising taxes, we have precious few options. You could get a bank loan or sell off the crown jewels, or perhaps crack open some of your predecessors' tombs. Most were buried with piles of gold, or so I've heard. Well, we know what to do, right? It's time to crack open some tombs. Who cares about the tombs of the Rudolphs? Time to crack open some tombs. Yeah, time to rob some graves. That buried gold isn't doing anyone any good, is it? Time to desecrate some graves. You ordered the royal mausoleums dug into and looted. The result is quite a bounty. Gold masks, heaps of coins, precious jewels. And this is all the stuff, you know, symbols of power from the Chain Pact they were selling. Just to really get rid of that stuff. Not everyone is as practical as your treasury, however. The church denounced you as a grave robber. Nobles and peasants alike are disgusted by your greed. Alright. Yes, we did, Kane. Yes, we did. The barons are gathered in the empty council hall late at night. A new report from one of their spies has just come in. Great God, the patricians have bought up pretty much the entire kingdom, and now they're finally preparing to collect on their investment. They're going to bleed us all dry until we're forced to give up the throne. Is it too late to stop them? Quite possibly. They have such a tight grip on the economy that they could ruin us with a single pen stroke. We just have to delay them long enough for King Felix to solidify his power. It shouldn't be long now. Our king is on the verge of greatness, I can feel it. Barons, you must continue to aid the king by countering the other region's schemes. We are almost there. Oh shit. Oh shit. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. This is not final, but here we go. Alright. This is very important. This is very important. For the loyalists, you gotta vote for E. For the ones who are against King Felix, you gotta vote for F. This vote is very important. Start auction in 3, 2, 1, and 0. Exclamation mark fund, followed by the letter of the billing you want to fund, followed by the amount of money you want to spend. Your options are raising farming for the barons with A, 10,000 on F immediately. Lowering stability with B. Lowering farming for the chiefs with C. Raising stability with D. Raising authority with E. Lowering authority with F. Holy moly. 30,000 and 20,000. Yeah, if you want to go against King Felix, you gotta vote for F and for something else. Currently B is the second most voted option. Yeah, at 10,000. 10 seconds left now. I'll let you know there's 10 seconds left and 5 seconds left. Yeah. Oh my god, F and E are both winning. E is risking not being funded enough. 10 seconds left. Because people keep voting B. E is really at risk here. E is really at risk. 5 seconds left now. Oh my god. 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 B passed at the very last second. Holy shit. B passed. B passed at the very last second. No way. Oh my god! We got some snipers here. Marley and Ephra sniping in at the very last second. That was a good snipe. Holy crap. That was a good snipe. So Skeletal Recondition spending good chunk of their money, almost all their money, to build a theater to lower down the authority, and then Lemon Square is spending almost all of his money trying to bring down stability. Good job. Did I say Ephra? Oh, Lemon Square, sorry. Sorry. I don't know why it's... sorry. Yeah, Lemon Square. Lemon Square. Damn. Wow. Yeah, it was clutch. That was fucking clutch. Yeah, the patricians are really going to ham at it. Chara spending all their money. Wow. You funded the wrong one? Wait, what? No, if you funded, like, if you wanted to lower authority, you funded the right one. Wow, good job. Good job. That was a good one. Furious nobles. Oh god, these events. So, I'm gonna do the ambition first, because that's what I do every time with the first ambition roll. This is not the one that makes me win, so it's innocuous. Want to know the perfect way to end this? If one faction rebels and manages to get others to work with it to usurp the usurper, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's do the ambition first, as we usually do. At the start of your reign, you said you wanted to be a conqueror. You look like you plan to live up to those words. The kingdom's army is stronger than ever before. Well done, your majesty. But to shut down your noble scheming for good, we need to build on that reputation. Your advisors have some ideas. We should crush these disloyal nobles, take command of their armies, and force them to submit. Or if you're looking to unite the nobles rather than smash them, you could declare war on the Ashmedan Empire. They'll forget their schemes if you win. So what do you think Felix would do? Huh? You're an ace. Crush. Baspir saying crush. Good old war to bring glory to his proud men. We go in all authority, have a hunch he'll go tyranny and crush the nobles. You know what he would do? Depending on your choice, you could make or break the dynasty. Unite to gain allies, or go tyranny and potentially alienate all remaining allies. Declare war. I was going for conquest, but depends how he took all these nobles talking shit. Crush the disobedient nobles, show them the futility of their plots. I mean, he just got out of war, and who'd want to do 2 wars in a row? Crush seems most likely, if unwise. Mostly because of the personality of this is for your own good. You may feel the military is better in his hands. That's a good point. That is a good point. A Baron would? A Baron would what? A true ace would choose 2! You already had Crush the Noble in a finale of an RP Dynasty, I believe? I don't know. I don't know if we had that. Yeah, a Baron would want 2 wars in a row. Exactly. Exactly. Wait, what? What? Tell me. Tell me. Tell me what? What, Dragonfit? Schemes have always been the bane of monarchs and dynasty. It's why the pact failed? What do you mean? What do you mean with that? Frogs? Are we lagging? Come on, please no. Thank you, Legacy. Thank you. Crushing the nobles to stop scheming and secure the dynasty. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. So, Felix here. I'm actually a little torn. I'm not gonna lie. Because I had a clear idea, but it might have changed. I have no lag, okay. A Chain Pact Monarch would choose to attack Ashmead, but Felix is not a Chain Pact Monarch. Oh, wait, that was too fast. But Felix is not a Chain Pact Monarch. He's out to build a new system and reform the kingdom, not conquer yet more land from Ashmead. Force them to submit, crush all plotting and scheming. No more of that nonsense, for the greater good tyranny is needed. It is a pact, in a sense. A pact under Felix's rule. I think that ending on a monarch victory without a pact would be astounding. A monarch victory... Oh, in general, right? Yeah, okay. So, let me see here. Felix. Yeah, Felix might feel that crushing those plotting is the only way to go about it, you know? Actually, this makes a lot of sense, because I had a plan on how to play this already, now that I think about it. I just did not write it down. But yeah, I had a narrative idea of how to do this, so it makes a lot of sense. I think with someone out to reform the system, crushing out any opposing nobles would be his idea. The thing, though, is that that goes towards being a tyrant. He really doesn't see himself as a tyrant, though. But the way the kingdom, the reign has gone, you know, with the council really not cooperating. Tyrants usually don't see themselves as tyrants. That's true. Damn, my character went from calling Felix a tyrant to realizing Felix needs to get tyrannical for the greater good of the kingdom. Yeah. Yeah. Which means that he hasn't been tyrannical so far. Right? I know for sure he saw the last guy as a tyrant. No, he saw the last guy as ineffectual. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. The thing is, so I have a trait that pushes me in one direction here. Actually, I have two traits that push me in two different directions. So this is a very defining moment for Felix. I have two traits that push me into two different directions. So this is the stuff of good narrative here. Inner character conflict. Okay, let me think a minute and I'll decide what to do here. Because I can see both things. But I think I'm leaning towards one of the two more. Exactly, which trait is more dominant is exactly what I'm figuring out in my brain right now. And I think I have my answer. VNAP, thank you for following. War is one of the most important things there are for Felix. Absolutely. Say what you want about Felix is not rash like Asgal, and he pauses and considers his options before committing to tyranny. Yeah. Like, Felix, all he wanted to do was go to war with the Ashmedan Empire. That's what he saw as his purpose and as the kingdom's purpose. Alright? Asgal's gonna be the trash tier of this dynasty. Yeah, I don't know, we'll see. Asgal, yeah, not Felix. Probably. So, you know, he had one purpose. But I'm afraid that he may be realizing that to do that, you need a united front, you know? That he doesn't have. But still, like, if he just says, let's go to war with Ashmid, aren't the regions forced to follow him? Right? I think this is actually more dominant. I think so. I think so. Like, now that I think about it, because, like, oh, Felix would be, that's what he wants. He wants to be like Rudolph III. Yes. Yes. Honestly, I feel like traits have been restricted on roleplay. A really fun moment in the Battle Dynasty was Felix the second trying to be nice, then snapping when he backfired and becoming a giant prick was one of my favorite moments of last Dynasty. That is a great point. Thank you for the feedback. I love that. Please bring these up again when we discuss the, you know, in the postmortem. This isn't to say they should be scrapped, but I really think they should be less set in stone. That's a great point. I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Darth from Doom. It's really well put. Thank you so much. Like, actually, if you want to post it somewhere, I'm gonna make sure to think about it. Like, if you want to send it over to me on Discord, that would be awesome. Because it's really great feedback. Alright, so we've been sitting on this for like 5 minutes at least. I think... Let me explain to you what Felix thinks. Awesome, thank you, Vaspier. Fantastic, top. Yeah, how has Felix changed over the events in the reign, right? So Felix started with the idea of this chain pact here is very limiting. We don't need it anymore. Ravioli Mouse, welcome and thank you for joining. That's a good name. You're a Baron. So yeah, he started with the idea of this. The chain pact is rotten. It's weak. We gotta get rid of that and rule the Marcher way because we know what's best, and what's best is war. We've been doing great every time we've gone at war as a kingdom. We should do that. And here I think that the two things that are pulling at him are, on the one hand, we should just drag everybody into a war. And the other thing is, we should make sure that we have no opposition so that we can reform this kingdom. But if you think about it, if you really think about it, we should reform this. How should we reform this? The Marcher way, through war. So I think that war actually is strongest. I think that he actually thinks that starting a war would be a unifying factor. The thing is, he doesn't think he needs to stop schemes if he is in control of the military. If he leads troops in the on the battlefield, they're gonna be faithful to him. They're gonna trust him, and they're gonna be listening to his orders and not the nobles. That's what he thinks. And he's very Julius Caesar in that regard. So I think that he might actually go for war. Vina, thanks so much for joining. Let me see where you ended up. You're Baron too, there you are. No, we cannot, Ephra. We cannot. I'm gonna wait for another 30 minutes just to make you specifically boil in your broth. I think it's war. Is Felix thinking about the future though? No, that's the point. If he was, he would be trying to get control of the military inside the kingdom and making a stable foundation inside the kingdom. But he's not thinking of that. He just wants to go to war. Yeah, after the war and after he dies, then what? He thinks this will solve things. Like, he wants the forever war. This is what he wants. He wants the kingdom to be at war constantly. That's what he wants. I love how it goes back to unifying the kingdom. Yeah, right? Like, oh, this thing about having a unified kingdom, it's not working. Let me unite the kingdom. A wise decision, Your Majesty. I've already taken the liberty of contacting the Ashmeaden ambassador. Greetings, Your Grace. I am here to discuss the terms of our upcoming war. Negotiating the Empire's surrender, I hope. No. The Ashmeaden Empire is far larger than your kingdom. Didn't you wonder why we never squashed you like a bug? It's because we were divided by internal conflicts. It may seem that the Empire is ruled by its emperor, but in reality, Ashmead is ruled by its generals, who battle endlessly for control of the capital. Hurry up and say your piece. I'm here representing General Thalikanth, whose lands are safely distant from your borders. If you were to invade, all we ask is that you send us your signal. We launch a civil war, taking advantage of the chaos to bump off some of our own rivals. Fuck, this is bad. Yeah. Yeah. You have my axe? Thank you. You Ashmeadans and your infighting make me sick. Are you really trying to claim that your kingdom has less internal drama? Don't make me laugh. I will leave you to think on my words. If we take advantage of the Ashmeaden Empire's internal divisions, we may actually have a chance. If you beat our oldest enemy, that would shut the nobles up for good. But winning still won't be easy. Your priority is to raise the kingdom's overall farming and military. Is bet in an in-universe perspective? Why? Tell me. Would have guessed building a strong, prosperous, rich in farming and military powerful kingdom across the board would end up serving the ambitions of a crazed forever war general. Right? Isn't this great? Yeah, sometimes that's how it is. Sometimes that's how it is, Dragon Pit. We'll see. War will solve our internal problems, right? Yeah, that's the thing. An old debt. How do you expect me to take this seriously, you crack-brained simpleton? Shut your deaf mouth and give me what I'm owed, you honorless dog. What in seven health is going on? This pimple-headed lackwit expects me to pay him a huge quantity of gold just because this great-great-grandfather beat my great-great-great-grandfather in a foot race. A debt owed is a debt owed, is it not? Your August Majesty, I only recently discovered his debt while coming through my ancestors' journal. Honor dictates that Chief's Dragon Pit is liable for their ancestors' debt. But the old gods, this is ludicrous. I demand we put this to a vote. Alright. Yeah, I was just about to say, like, if you think about it, kingdoms generally in the history of mankind have tended to go downhill. And specifically, this game is aimed at kingdoms going downhill and moving towards disaster. So yeah. How do I join? Exclamation mark. Join in chat plus your pronouns. But you are already in the game, Ravioli. Here you are. You're a Baron. So the way you play is you vote in council votes by typing exclamation mark vote followed by the letter of the option you want to pick. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask in chat, and people are gonna be more than happy to help you out. Golden Crash made the pact ends and a new empire begins. It's very Roman. Oh my god, it is. Because if Felix really wants to go for a war against Ashmead and refuses to settle peace terms, the kingdom is more doomed than even I had thought. I won't get too much into specifics in case we get the event in the future dynasty, but picking welcome to the forever war. When you war with Ashmead is kingdom ending. Oh yeah, no, I remember now that you say that. Yeah. Yes, you are in Ravioli. Second century is to recover from the kingdom's successor wars, but now it's finally stronger than ever, and Felix is ready to finish what Robin II and Rudolf III began exactly with their successful wars. Most Ashmeadians laugh at the kingdom, but some of the wise among them are realized the kingdom might have become a real threat. Yeah. All right. This is about noble debts. Do we really care about this stuff? Who is the richest between the two? Dragon Pit, a lot of money. And then we have, who else? Scipione. Pay the debt. Come on, Dragon Pit. Pay the freaking debt. Pay the debt. Come on. Let's pay the 2 centuries of interest. Let's do it. Cancel the debt? Ah, you're no fun. And nobody's voting for A. Wow, okay. Alright, it's clearly gonna be B, so let's go. Cancel the debt. The gods are good. Glad that the council sees reason on this matter. A debt is a debt. Does nobody care about honor anymore? I guess some nuance on the trending to disaster bit. A game of King of the Castle is naturally cyclical because the start of a new reign has to be roughly the same conditions as the start of a normal one. That's a good point. You are in the Barons, Ravioli. Here you are. You are a Baron. So, Furious Nobles. Mag? What was I saying? Yeah, but I would keep like discussions on narrative arcs and stuff like that. Let's keep them for when we discuss the stream next week, right? Because that could be a good moment to districate all these feelings and thoughts and ideas and reflections. Because I think it's a really worthy conversation to have. And I'm not saying stop talking about it, but just let's keep this in mind because it's a good point of conversation. In this dynasty, we have to make it the end point of one of those cycles a definitive ending. Yeah. Ha! I can't believe the patricians have got so upset. Look at this petition they sent. What's happened? They're complaining about the sapphire. Poor things, the poet's hurting their feelings. I've been receiving all sorts of letters asking us to ban the poet or some rubbish. You won't, will you? Oh shit. Is this game ending? Oh my god, this is game ending. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is she writing this stuff? Death by poetry would be so poetic. Don't end the game on account... Wait. Your chat is moving too fast. Don't end the game on account of this. Felix is smart enough to do what's best for his reign when things are desperate. The thing I need to figure out is does he realize that things are desperate? Huh. So let me see what we're saying here. So, they're asking us to ban it. Yeah, Felix supported the idea to make fun. But there's an escalation here. Now, what I need to figure out is this enough for him to take it seriously? Would it make sense to prevent sedition when leading up to an international war? That's a good point. The only justification for Felix banning it is that he realizes this sword can cut both ways. Let me take a look at my traits here. Yeah, no, I have nothing that really pushes me towards one or the other. Banning seditious writings does make sense considering how many anti-Felix seditious writing have been going around the kingdom recently. That's part of what I'm thinking, yeah. I think if I was playing Felix, I'd let it slide as long as it's a pat, but not if it's on him or his cool barons. I don't know. This is... What was the earliest instance of poetry in this dynasty, by the way? I have no idea. This is gonna be really close. Oh my god. So will we ban seditious poetry? I need to think in terms of role-playing and not stats. Wartime governments tend to restrict the free speech. That's a good point. Because you don't want internal dissension, right? Splinter. Yeah, this is pretty powerful moment. There's an issue here. The kingdom was just about to ready to declare war on Ashmead, and if Felix is disposed, that complicates things. Yes. But now there's an opportunity to do a little tyranny on the side just to be sure. Let's be mad about avoiding just suicide. Last reign? What? But avoiding just suicide the last reign, I do think trumps SRP in cases. Yeah, no, I get it. I agree with that partly. Here I'm genuinely trying to figure out what this guy would do. Because if the answer is A, there's no conflict there. Because the thing that makes me that puts me in doubt is the wording of this. In the previous instance, it didn't sound like this serious, but this like, this sentence here, I can kind of agree with this, you know, as Felix. Seditious poetry must be banned, I kind of agree with this. A funny poem, making fun of patricians, of course I find it funny, and I'm not gonna look into it. Like, the option was, let's investigate into this poem. I'm not gonna do it, it's funny. I don't care for one poem. But now we got to the point where it's seditious poetry that, you know, must be banned. Felix kind of agrees with this. I think Felix agrees with this statement. Like, the way I'm trying to figure this out, I think it's this. Would Felix be confident enough in his power to shut down speech, knowing that it's cost dissent before? Definitely. Because instead of the kingdom collapsing into squabbling realms, would become the newest Ashmedian province. Yeah. No, I think he agrees with this. Like, this is serious enough. Really? Gods be good. Well, it comes to this. That's right, I'm the Sapphire. God. The genius poet laying the sins of the patricians bare. So please don't ban my poems. Just trust that I have good reasons. Why do you dislike the patricians so much? When I was younger, Lord Patrician Lelkatlin visited the north on a diplomatic trip. Lelkatlin? While he was touring my homeland, he took a liking to one of my clan's ancestral stones. He ordered it shipped back to the coast. We were too late to stop this insult against my ancestors' memory. Ever since then, my entire clan is sworn a feud against the patricians. That's what you did, Lelkatlin. So it's a personal thing? Very much so, it means a lot to me. So what now? I'm just getting started. I can carry on writing my poems, yes? Jesus. Can you write poems in my favor instead? Exactly, wartime propaganda. How lucky is this guy to end up having a wife that can write war propaganda for him? I think he's gonna do it. Wait, I'm gonna wait for you to say something, Howitzer, but this feels pretty clear to me. I think you just turned an L into a win? I don't know. Pretty damn lucky, yeah. This is Alexander's approved. I could do that, I suppose, but mark my words, you can't trust those patricians. The Sapphire turns their attention to praising the crown. The theme is less popular and their work fades as the next big thing arises, but at least the patricians of the coast relax. Alright. You know what? You know what? The peasant apprising the monk. So we do the events first, of course. I think war ending might mean status quo epilogue. Things end up being back to normal because Felix II might not continue the war. I have a very different opinion. I'm gonna share when we get there. The monk, let's go. Your Majesty, a young northern monk named Gildefrith seeks an audience. He's writing a book and has a small request. I can vouch for his seriousness. What kind of book? He wants to write the history of your reign, Your Majesty, so future scholars may delight in tales of your wisdom, I can only assume. Show him in. This sounds like a perfect opportunity. Thank you for seeing me, Your Majesty. I'm writing a history of your reign, but research is costly. I was wondering if you might donate a little to support my efforts. Well, I think Felix... Oh my god, if Felix wins this, it's because of manipulating information. For sure. For fucking sure. Just changing the story. Yeah, Living God is a little dangerous, you know? Living God is a little dangerous, but... Oh my god! A reputation is power, exactly. But my lord, this is heresy. I know, he probably would frame it a little bit differently than this, but... You know? Yeah. Well, I try to be an unbiased historian, but for you, your majesty, I'll make an exception. Thank you for seeing him, your majesty. Is that all? Yes, your majesty, Gildefrith is a very deliberate historian. I doubt his book will be ready for decades. The 11th god. A walking religion. Yeah, exactly, Cobra, precisely. Oh no, I'm happy. I'm happy being like this kind of stress. I love it. A band of peasants have staged an uprising in the north, your greatness. In the dead of night, they stormed the castle of my good friend Chief... What? Dingy Dongy Dongy. They and their family are currently languishing in their own dungeons. How are the peasants able to take... Wait, what caused the peasants to rebel? Well, the usual complaints. The peasants accused Chief Dingy Dongy Dongy of caring more about feasting and fighting than the plight of the common folk. How were they able to take the castle? They bribed some of the guards. They also seem to have brand new, well-forged weapons, pike and swords mostly. I have no idea where they found the money. What are the peasants' demands? They want Chief Dingy Dongy Dongy to be stripped of their assets with their lands divided among the peasantry. In return, the rebel will free them and spare their life. This sounds pretty fucking... It seems pretty... unreasonable. Oh my god! So see, like... Remember when I say I don't strategize? Here, the strategizing option would be to veto B. But the thing is, King Felix does not want to give the peasants what they want, and does not want to slay them. So these are both equally undesirable, so he's not going to veto either, but he's going to iron choice A. That's what we do. That's what we do. We iron choice A. That's what he would do. We send the army. Oh my god, is this actually winning? Because if B wins and we fail our ambition rolls, it's over. It's over. Not necessarily sweet. Oh my god, this A is winning 15 to 11? No fucking way. No fucking way. 15 to 12. This is 15 to 13. Oh my god. 15 to 13. This is so close. I'm going to be counting down from 5. If you have not voted, you have to vote now. Because if B wins and I lose the check, the game ends. Counting down from 5. 4. 3. 16 to 14. 2. 1. 0. I'm so sorry, Margaret. Send an army to siege the castle 1. Your army lays siege. It lasts over a month. Disease runs rampant in the besiegers' camp, causing hundreds of soldiers to die or desert. But soldiers can be replaced while the peasants are on their own. One afternoon, starvation finally forces the rebel to surrender. They are hanged the following dawn. Chief Dingy Dongy Dongy and their families stagger out of the castle dungeons, starved half to death, but alive. The chiefs are pleased with the outcome, though there's still the matter of where the peasants got the money to bribe the guards. Y'all. Felix is turning these around at the very end. Oh my god. If Felix wins this, I have a very clear idea of what's gonna happen. For the last few months, your marshal has been crisscrossing the kingdom, drumming up troops in preparation for your first strike against the Ashmedan Empire. Today, at last, she's returned, and she's brought one of the patricians with her. Your Majesty, the nobles are proving reluctant to commit their soldiers to your cause. They've sent a delegation to speak with you. Your esteemed Highness, of course we all support a war with the accursed dogs of Ashmead. Of course we do. We're more patriotic than anyone. Hi, Marley. But we're concerned about the harvest. Your marshal is telling us to raise all our able-bodied levies. If we do that, who's going to gather the crops? The kingdom could starve. The damn peasants will just have to tighten their belts. Without a proper harvest, it just won't be the peasants. It won't just be the peasants who suffer. Just them cowardice, if you ask me, Your Majesty, but all the nobles are echoing this nonsense. The fools are worried about going hungry for a few years. Until we can persuade them all that the king will survive, they won't commit their full forces to our banner. This is a 90%! I thought it would be lower, given the fact that we have a 4 here. I think Felix might have turned this around. Yeah, do we have the XCOM against us? If we get that 10% here, this is gonna be a sign from the gods. Otherwise, Felix has turned this around. Let's try. Let's see. It's a success! It's a success! Felix! I think Felix has the reins of this kingdom. By the 9th year, Serene Highness, you're right. The kingdom can survive a few hungry winters. It means teaching those Ashmead ambassadors a lesson. That's the spirit. I trust we have the backing of the patricians starting the war yet then? Yes, your Serene Highness. Let's do this. Yeah, I don't understand that, Dragon Pit, either. One by one, your marshal approaches the nobles of your council, seeking their approval for the launch of a war against Ashmead. Hey, your highness, the chiefs never back down from a fight. You have our access. When it comes to a war, you can rely on the barons, my liege. Let's go give the Ashmeadans a kicking. The nobles are united behind the idea of a war on Ashmead, your majesty. Finally. Actually, huzzah! Let's go to war! I like the enthusiasm, but it's been a long time since the kingdom mobilized so much of its army. We need to ensure they're up to the task. I'll assemble the troops at once. Farewell, your majesty. And it's 100%. When your marshal returns to the capital a month later, she's at the head of an army. The soldiers set up camp outside the citadel wall, their armor gleaming crimson in the light of dawn. The camp stretches for miles outside the walls of the city. The ground has been churned to mud under tens of thousands of boots. As you approach, you're greeted by an awesome sight. Rank upon rank of hard-faced footmen, holding swords aloft. Knights on horseback, they plate mail glinting, archers and crossbowmen training furiously, hitting targets after target. Beautiful, ain't it? Let's bring Ashmead to its knees. Blood! Blood for the 9th god! Your soldiers let out a full-throated roar. For the kingdom! For the king! The army is a vast, stinking, hungry monster that swallows up the landscape as it marches south. When you arrive at the border, your soldiers spill across like a flood, sweeping away the surprised Ashmeadan sentries in the path. To tell the truth, you don't see much of the fighting. Your job is just to give inspirational speeches before the battle starts, wave a sword around, then duck back into your tent. I don't think that's what Felix would do. Despite that, or perhaps because of that, your first Ashmeadan campaign is a huge success. By the time you return to the capital for winter, you've conquered almost 100 miles of territory along the border. As the city gates swing open, you're greeted by a rush of joyous sounds, clapping, cheering. Peasants are throwing roses at your carriage. Trailing behind you, of course, is a retinue of wounded soldiers, nursing deep-seated trauma and grieving their lost comrades. The peasants largely ignore them. All hail the king, the conquering hero! Wave to your adoring fans. The cheering somehow gets louder. They really think you're a hero, even though you spent most of your time in the tent looking at maps. When you return to the palace, your wife is nowhere to be seen. She was probably enjoying your absence. You take a gulp of wine and head straight to the council hall. As you step back into the council's presence for the first time in months, the nobles all look up at you with trepidation. Welcome back, your Serene Highness. Let me be the first to congratulate you on your victory. On a sweet thank you. But now we can get back to the business of ruling. There are many votes that need your attention. These small matters no longer interest me. But what about democracy, the constitution? Did the king misspeak? We may have won a victory, but Ashmead will strike back, and strike back hard. We don't have time for votes. We need to prepare. And if you squabbling bastards don't unite behind the king right away, you'll wake up next year with Ashmead and soldiers in your bedchambers. Do I make myself clear? Crystal. Then let's begin discussing plans for our next campaign. Yea, your highness, whatever you say. After that, the nobles never defy you again, but it's not like your life gets easier. Your Majesty, I hate to interrupt your meeting, but I just received word that the Ashmeadan Empire is marching on our newly conquered territories. They're sending 30 regiments. We need to mobilize immediately. We decide you head back to your chambers and begin strapping our armor. Here we go again. And that is how the Chain Pact Dynasty ends. With a bang and a war. GG. GG, good game, everyone. I have a very clear idea of where this leads. The barons celebrated their victory and Felix was venerated as a true hero of the march, but some whispered that the barons were losing control of their puppet as the king consolidated his power around his heir, Princess Felix II. The chief's attempt to replace the king's advisors never panned out. One night, Chief Pinky awoke to find his smiling spy master holding a knife to her throat and kindly asking her to desist. The patricians' attempt to buy the kingdom ended in failure. Bankruptcies were filed, marks were scratched in secret ledgers. The risk-reward calculus wasn't favorable. Perhaps next time. King Felix's reign spanned another 15 glorious years, mostly spent fighting in foreign fields. He conquered land from Tavalin and Ashmead, lost it, campaigned to get it back. By the time the old warrior died, he was battle-scarred and celebrated as a hero. Most of all, he was tired. King Felix the Lion. He kind of looks like a lion. Look at that. He has a mane. Hesperus is the richest. Manu is the poorest. This would be Felix II, but we don't care for the future. We don't care for the next monarch, at least. Yeah, this tired hits differently from when Rudolf III was tired, yes. Felix the Lion, I think, just actually starts the Forever War. I think that he completely fucks up diplomatical relationships with Ashmead and Tavalin so much that even if his successors don't want to go to war, the foreign nations want to go to war with the kingdom. I think Felix just drags the kingdom. I have the feeling that Felix probably drags the kingdom into a spiral of war. Sorry. Precisely. Oh my god, Maito, that's so good. Rudolf III was tired from being broken. Felix was tired in the sense that one is tired after a good workout. Exactly, Cobra Commander. He's like the Roman Empire. His rule requires constant expansion to persist. Yeah, pretty much 100 years war, yeah. Oh, that's the canonical ending, Darth Von Doom. But remember that we take some liberties, especially at the start and at the end of Dynasties, so we can leave that undetermined, you know? We don't really we're not really concerned with the long scope. We just like to paint a picture of how the kingdom would continue for the foreseeable future. Felix, you would have loved the Bearclaw Dynasty? Yes. Yes, indeed. So basically what happened was that the Chain Pact didn't have, after a couple hundred years, right? Over 200 years of successful, mostly successful rulers and thriving kingdom, and I cannot wait to see the stats on this kingdom from Northwind. After over 200 years of successful ruling by the Chain Pact that made the kingdom prosper and thrive, the Chain Pact supporters were not as strong a faction anymore to manage to bring back the Chain Pact. Nor were the opposition. You know, Felix took the throne by force, and the opposition was not strong enough. Felix managed to manipulate the public opinion in order to support the war, and that's how he managed to keep control. And then I think that what happens is probably that he just... I have this idea of him being actually able to start the Forever War for some time at least. So entangling the kingdom in some foreign policy mess that his heirs cannot escape it, even if they would want to, right? I can foresee a bunch of monarchs after Felix having to fight, even if they're against it. Because the other regions are so pissed, the other nations are so pissed, they just keep declaring war. Yeah, exactly, the chain's rusted. As all will decay, yeah. I like to think Felix also used his wars to end the Chain Pact. Yeah. Yes. For sure. Feels like no just the end of a dynasty, but an era. Yeah, definitely. Definitely, yes. I agree, Imperial Kate. I think what we witnessed with this dynasty was the end part of an era, right? The Chain Pact era lasted for a long time, like I think in total over 300 years, and we saw the second half of it, right? Like we started taking a look at the Chain Pact from the moment it broke and collapsed, because it broke, if I remember correctly, it broke pretty soon, right? Like with Askel immediately. So we saw the Chain Pact at the end of the original Chain Pact, and in its struggles to survive in the following 200 years until it finally rusted and fell to pieces. This was absolutely incredible. We witnessed the end, the dawning, right? The Götterdämmerung of the Chain Pact. Is he a God King? I don't think so. This is so good. Felix wielded the pen almost as mightily as a sword. Yeah, he showed that public perception is not a battlefield and he won it. Right at the end, yeah. The war would eventually fizzle out though. Yeah, but after a long time, I would say. But we're probably going to discuss this together next time, right? Even if you have high stats, if Ashmade had stats according to the devs, they'd be in the hundreds. I agree. But again, think about the fact that maybe... oh, Jakub, thanks so much for the follow. Think of the fact that maybe it's the same generals that keep fighting and fighting. Or maybe, because maybe Ashmade this time around doesn't manage to coalesce and bring everybody together for a long time, because maybe some stuff is happening in Ashmade that we don't see. They actually have some civil war inside, and so we keep fighting the same war with the same fringe generals for centuries, maybe for decades, you know? Like that could happen. That could be a thing. People in Ashmade in the other parts of the empire are doing a civil war, and we still fight. We fight with the same generals over and over and over and over and over. I think it did come back. It looked very... If it did come back, it did look very flimsy. The Chain Pact, yeah, I agree. I think it had around its course, so it's pretty good. Is the Chain Pact the same after so much has changed? I don't think it is anymore. I think it's gone. The war is better than complete implosion over the kingdom. Probably, yeah. It's still the kingdom. At least the kingdom still exists, right? Ashmade is suffering a crisis in the 3rd century themselves while the kingdom attacks them. Yeah, right? There you go. Like, there are a bunch of ways that we can justify this. We don't need to be linked by how things usually are in the game. I think that's the nice thing of ending a dynasty, you know? Like, God, we had gods walk the earth in our first dynasty, so we can literally come up with whatever the fuck we want. Ashmade general fighting with ancient tactics, too caught up in their old ways against modern, never before seen gunpowder. Yeah, see, that could be a factor too. I don't see us conquering Ashmead, but I could see us contributing to its inevitable collapse. I don't know if I would get that far. We would definitely not conquer it, but yeah, we're definitely gonna be fighting it for a long time. In a sick, twisted way, the kingdom was united in iron, a chain pact in name. Let me read you Felix's traits. The era of chains gives way to the age of iron. Yeah. So let me read these to you. So the crown shouldn't. So the kingdom is at war. The kingdom is at its sharpest when at war. Always prioritize military matters. Pretty clear. The crown shouldn't meddle with matters of faith. Respect the authority of the church, and they'll respect yours when you need them. Pretty simple. And then we have peasants are soldiers. Treat them well, and they'll fight for you. So he understood how important it was to treat the peasants decently. And then finally, we have the one that links to what Maito was saying. Maito and Cobra, right? United in iron. The pact gives clueless nobles the reins of the kingdom and binds the crown to ineffectual rules and traditions. Shatter it and reforge bullets from its splinters. Always ignore it. So yeah, it is a new era. It is a new era. I would have loved Felix. There's a lot of Caesar in here, yeah. Yeah, this trait is so perfect. Can you repeat? The first trait was, the kingdom is at its sharpest when at war. Always prioritize military matters. But I think the most, like, this and the last one were the most representative, I think. You know, is at its sharpest when at war, always prioritize military matters. And I love this. Shatter the Chain Pact and reforge bullets from its splinters. This is very representative, right? King Foltest in The Witcher 2 used the trait of peasants very well. Really? I've never played it. The way you worded it, forge bullets from the splitters, is so badass. I'm glad you like it. Thank you. I really liked the image of this shattered chain and someone picking up the pieces and then smelting them and making bullets out of them, you know? That's what it feels like. Alright. Whew. A perfect epilogue from House. I love to see it. Yes. I like that in the end it didn't end up being a Baron's thing. Instead of like, we're going to wave our guns in your faces and make you listen, it ends up being a collaborative effort for the final war. Yes! I love this, that it... so sorry. I love that it ended up being people actually getting united in a much more distraught and destructive way. But it's still the kingdom being unified against, you know, being unified in an effort to do something. This time the attention is not so during the Chain Pact the attention was towards the house politics, right, inside the kingdom. In this new era it's outside of the kingdom, foreign politics. Mithra at the kingdom, yes. Actually I think King Foltest is a good analog to King Felix. I don't know him though. He knew and cared about the soldiers, so they were devoted to him. I see. There you go, yeah. Yeah, that was so sad, Masphere. And that's how the Bear Claw Dynasty started. Yeah, tradition died, but the theme of unity was ultimately upheld. That's a great way to frame it, yeah. Tradition died, but unity was upheld in a very fucked up way, but it was. Yeah. History is cyclical. Good stuff, y'all. Good stuff. Alright. Thanks so much for playing. So I'd like to remind you that we're gonna be doing a wrap-up stream for this next week, next Wednesday. So next Wednesday we're not playing, but we're dedicating a stream to discussing this dynasty, looking back at all the monarchs. We're gonna do a monarch chart, basically, you know. I'm gonna pick the best monarchs, and I made the traits. I write traits for every monarch in our roleplay dynasty, and they're different every time. Yeah, we're gonna do the tier list for the monarchs. We're gonna go back and read the too long didn't reads and discuss everything that happened, right? So the Crab War, the pirates, everything that you can think of. We're gonna bring it up again and discuss it and just honor this dynasty that lasted so long and gave us so many memorable moments. We're gonna take our time and look back and rejoice that we got to experience it before we move on to the next one. We always do this. It's a way to give farewell to the dynasty, and that's gonna happen next week. So just a quick reminder. All right. Yeah, we're gonna be showing the memes as well. There you go. No, I'm not, Alex. I'm sorry. First of all, sorry I got pushy about the Ashmate stuff. Oh, no worries. Secondly, do you want me to save my feedback traits for the stream? Post them in Discord? Or yeah, if you want to DM... I think Baspier actually posted it already on Discord for me, but if you want to send it to me in private, that's absolutely great. Yeah, thank you. Alright, y'all. Let me wrap this up. Don't go anywhere because I have a couple things to say after I wrap this up, but... this is it for the Chain Pact Dynasty. Thank you so much for playing. I hope you had a good time. I had a wonderful, wonderful time exploring this world with you. And I cannot wait to start the next dynasty and see where that leads us. Thank you for being here and for being creative and for playing. I'll see you around next time.